What's going on, Internet? The Black Okage here, aka TBH. And to be honest, I'd like to welcome you guys back to the Game and Illuminaughty podcast. We are the Enlightened Gamers, and you're now tuned in to episode 149. If you're watching the video version of the show at youtube.com/GI updates, know this show is available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and all other major podcast platforms. Be sure to rate the show 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. We need your 5-star rating to get onto the top of the algorithm and bring in new listeners, which, by the way, you guys have been doing. I didn't put this in the podcast notes, but I don't know if you saw that tweet that I tagged y'all in for our Spotify Wrapped. Let me see. We were in the 1% for something. Hold on. There it is right there. I'm going to bring this article. I'm going to bring this up. So shout out to y'all, the supporters. In 2023, so they introduced Spotify video. It's been around for like a couple years, but they opened it up to everybody. So like our last 10 episodes have been video. We switched. And when it comes to statistics, we are in the 1% of the most viewed videos podcasts on Spotify. And that's only because of you guys supported us. So hopefully going into 2024, you guys continue to do that. Y'all killing it out there. Rate the show 5 stars. We really appreciate you. Cool. What's the name? Follow the podcast on social media. We drop daily content at GI Updates. We're available on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. That's our handle at GI Updates. And without further ado, allow me to introduce you to my co-host, the first of which is now a second-time dad who set aside time to record the podcast with little old me and Ethos, UTX JG the Dad. What up to the people? Say what up.
What's going on? What's going on? I know y'all been feeling it, man. Y'all actually been tweeting was like, man, the Game Awards happened. It's a lot of spicy news. So they were like, I can't wait for the next episode of the podcast. Well, you already know I ain't afraid to say nothing. So you know what I'm here for? I'm here to make the Sony Ponies mad. I'm here to shit on Capcom. And I'm here to shit on Naughty Dog. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. And my second co-host just woke up from a nap and he's late. So he better contribute 50% to this conversation. Gaming Ethos. Say what up to the people.
I'm old. I'm forgiven. Okay, I can't stay awake like I used to. So I'm here to give 28% because JG's gonna be shitting on most of everybody today.
Yeah, we definitely getting old. I ain't gonna put him on blast, but I really wish y'all could. I really wish y'all could hear what this man said before we started recording. I'm like, oh, this nigga's getting old, bro. Oh shit!
Keep that under wrap.
Before we get into the show, further reminder: join us on
the show.
Remember to please join the Discord, discord.gg/GI updates. There'll be a link in the description box below. It's totally free to become a Discord member, but we also offer a premium option. Big shout out to some of our premium Discord members, such as Bird Boy, Big Mona Round, and Miss Kills. Also, we do monthly giveaways, consultations. We do stuff for content creators. Well, that's the consultations. Watch parties and a bunch of other stuff. We just play games as well in the Discord. So it's discord.gg/GI updates. Once again, there will be a link in the description box below if you're watching the video version at youtube.com/GI updates. Now, before we get into the show, quick freebies. I've been thinking about scrapping this section because Xbox don't got free games. They just have like a batch every, year or whatever. It's only really been PlayStation and I don't know. But for on PlayStation, you guys get Lego 2K Drive, Power Wash Simulator, and Sable for the month of December 2023. Other than that, it's time to hop into the lead conversations. The first of which is the Game Awards, the big gaming show every year celebrating gaming. Although one of the big criticisms is that they didn't really celebrate gaming. We'll get into that later. A lot of heavy hitters. 2023, despite what some of your favorite Call of Duty content creators are saying, as well as 2K content creators, has been one of the best years in gaming. It was very competitive. Best action game, best narrative, game of the year, best sports game. It was all over the place. And we're going to go down and we're going to talk about some of the results, how we feel about them, how we feel about the reactions, as well as talk about the reveals. But first, let's talk about the results. I'm only going to stick to like what I feel are like the more, the bigger. I don't really care about the esport. Do y'all care about the esports stuff, man?
No.
Yeah, I don't care about that shit either. Cool. So let's scroll down. We're gonna start with best indie game. Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dread, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder. Y'all agree with Sea of Stars winning?
I knew it would. It got highly touted. Like, it was literally a point where every single game that came out got high scores. And even though I didn't know about Sea of Stars, it went on my radar, I was like, damn, like y'all are really liking this game. So I knew it was gonna win.
I knew it was gonna win because it's the only one I really know. Besides, I heard of Cocoon, but I never actually saw any gameplay, so I didn't know what to expect. But Sea of Stars, I kept hearing that shit's fire. This one caused some controversy. Maybe you can give us some insight. Best ongoing game. The nominations were Apex Legends, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. The winner was Cyberpunk 2077. There was some backlash on social media. A lot of people felt like Fortnite should have won. What do you think, Ethos? Why do you think this won Best Ongoing Game? Explain it for the people who don't know.
Because they were working on the game for 3 years after the game had come out. I think a lot of people didn't read the description of what the category actually meant. A lot of people just jumped and made the assumption that ongoing game must have meant like it has to be a live service game, has to be a
constant
game.
Updates.
Yeah, constant update. But like if you look at the description of the category, Cyberpunk did fit it because it was a game that came out and it was getting updated constantly, and the game experience was evolving as they updated and changed the game throughout the past 3 years. So yeah, I mean it fit the category, and I think out of all of them, Cyberpunk had the best like underdog story. Like it did have the redemption arc story, which was something that I don't think any of the other games in that category really like had that like really crazy story like Cyberpunk did. So it made sense to me. I'm surprised why people are really shocked by it.
Damn, you said people don't read? That's crazy.
People they don't. I mean, technically, yeah, it did fit that category. I didn't think it was gonna win though, honestly. So I was surprised. I'm pretty sure everybody else.
Wait, what you thought was gonna win?
I mean, out of this list, I thought that it was either going to be between Fortnite or Apex. Those,
Apex.
You know,
Apex is dead as fuck, man.
What did Apex do? What did Apex
do? I'm not saying I wanted any of them to win. I'm just saying I thought that one of them was
going
to win.
They just give it like,
Apex is dead.
What was nominated in that category?
Apex, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact.
Okay. Final Fantasy XIV hasn't really done anything crazy since Endwalker came out, so I don't even know why that honestly got nominated. I think they just give it to them. Why not? Apex, what have they even done in the past year that was like, ooh, except make the game worse. So I don't even know why that got nominated. I can see No Man's Sky would have been the closest because they actually did some really cool stuff in the past year.
That's not even on the list.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Wow, I didn't even get it.
Nah, you're not listening.
Not this.
I thought I was last game. I thought
it was Fortnite and Genshin Impact were the last two.
Yeah, this just feels like they just shoehorned a bunch of stuff and that was just like, oh, these games just keep happening every year, so whatever, just put them in there. And they just threw Cyberpunk because they were like, oh, okay, this is what's gonna win it anyways.
I mean, you're not lying because Destiny like was on this list, I think last year too. So
you know, it's funny now that I'm reading the description, it's not a shocker Cyberpunk won because I think there's an emphasis on outstanding development on ongoing content that evolves the player's experience. From my understanding, these updates that Cyberpunk has completely overhauled the game and evolved the experience. And the main people I saw complaining was the Fortnite community. And from my perspective, maybe I'm wrong. From the outside looking in, a lot of the things that they have a lot of updates, but it doesn't really evolve the experience that much. Most of that shit is just skins. I'm like, okay, you got a Goku and a Spider-Man skin. The game still plays the same. Like, I don't know.
Y'all got hyped over them bringing back the first map. Like, I don't know.
That doesn't evolve the experience. It actually regresses. It regresses.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I knew Apex was dead though when I saw that trailer. They did a collaboration with Final Fantasy. They got fucking Apex characters running around with a Buster Blade. I'm like, get this game the fuck up out of here, bro.
I saw that too. I was like, what is that?
The Call of Duty route. Just doing goofy shit.
With Apex, man. I was like, I'm done with them.
Goofy shit. Best performance: Ben Starr, Final Fantasy 16, Cameron Monaghan, Star Wars, Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba in Cyberpunk, Melanie Liburd and Alan Wake 2, Neil Newbon in Baldur's Gate 3, and then Yuri, I don't know how to pronounce it, Lowenthal from Spider-Man 2. And then the winner was Baldur's Gate 3 with Neil Newbon. Y'all agree with that?
I mean, I was surprised. I didn't think he was going to win it, but he did a great job. I haven't beat the game fully, but because his character we kind of beat up and took his money and clothes and we left him for dead. So
you killed him like Rex on the first Mass Effect at the beginning.
Yeah, we kind of slaughtered him in our campaign, so I didn't get to see his
slaughtered him early. That's cool though.
A friend of mine told me, he did a really good job. He was like, apparently his character is like an SA survivor. I didn't know this, but that's like part of his character and his like backstory, and it goes like really in depth about like being a victim of that type of being a victim of like SA and stuff like that, and how going through life after that. So I didn't know that, but I was like, okay, I see how then at that point he got nominated. But me personally, I wanted Idris to win. I felt like he did a phenomenal job.
Melody is Saga, right?
For Alan Wake.
It's got to be.
Oh
Saga.
yeah, the black woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only black woman on the list. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Saga. Yeah, she's Saga. I think she did a good job too.
So you thought
I personally thought
he just really did a good job.
He did. I'm not joking to you. He did a phenomenal job. Like he is the best, I think, like Hollywood actor I've ever seen in a video game. Where like he embodied the character perfectly and didn't feel like, oh, this is just Idris Elba.
Because I thought he was on this list just because he, arguably because he's the most popular on it. Yeah,
that's why I feel like it was a lose-lose, because like this is one of those scenarios where like I think a lot of people just hate because they're just like, oh, you added a celebrity or video game, like, and like think of like Mortal Kombat where they're just like, you added was it Megan Fox, and you're just like, what the hell was that? Yeah,
bro, they were
like Idris went above, like he, like I'm not even joking, like he locked in for this role. Like if you guys ever get around to playing the DLC, he did a really good job. Yeah,
I can't speak on it because I didn't play it. I was gonna say I would have liked to seen Cameron win with Jedi Survivor. I thought
he did a good job.
I thought he killed it towards the end of the game when like that crazy shit started happening, like the emotion in the voice. I thought he killed it. But
I thought they all did it. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, I'm not mad at any of these ones.
Yeah, they all
were high up on Ben Starr too.
The only people that got upset, of course, were the Spider-Man fans because they were like
the biggest losers of the week.
How did Fury not win with Peter Parker yelling, "Harry, no!"
I'm sorry, it wasn't as riveting. It wasn't as riveting as the other people's roles on this list.
Oh my god!
Just convinced Fury had it.
Best audio design. I'm not surprised. Hi-Fi Rush won over Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4. It had to win that one.
Hi-Fi Rush was great. Yeah.
Let's see. Best score goes to Alan Wake 2. Well, not goes to, but the nominations were Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I thought Hi-Fi Rush was going to win this, but it ended up being Final Fantasy 16, and I thought about it. As boring as that game was, it did have a fire soundtrack, like the boss fights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, it did have really good music. I was like, okay.
That was on the beat. Sozin's the GOAT.
Yeah. Best art direction nominees were Hi-Fi Rush, Liza P, Super Mario Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom. Alan Wake 2 won. Y'all agree with that?
Is for what?
Best art direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lighting.
You're playing right now, but yeah,
the lighting is immaculate in Alan Wake 2. Like just the tone and the atmosphere, it's immaculate.
Yeah,
it's good.
The atmosphere of that game is insane.
Good art.
Yeah.
Good art. Best narrative: Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy 16, Cyberpunk, Baldur's Gate 3, and Alan Wake 2. The winner was Alan Wake 2. Y'all agree with best narrative?
0 for 2, man. 0 for 2 with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It was never going to win that category.
Not at all. I don't know what.
Venom, bro.
You know what's crazy? They were like convinced, like, I feel like, we're going to get to it, I guess. But I feel the funny thing was like, they were just always convinced that Spider-Man was like second place to getting the award. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, I don't even think it was in second. I don't even think it was in third. Like, it was like the fourth place slot, I think. Because I still would have said Baldur's Gate had a better one. I would have said definitely Cyberpunk. I really thought Cyberpunk was going to win this.
I would only put Spider-Man above Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's the only one I'd probably say is better is Final Fantasy. Yeah.
Interesting.
Final Fantasy 16, we know how that narrative went.
Yeah.
I think it had to go to Alan Wake 2. Like, that game is definitive narrative. That's what it's on. The motherfucker's literally a writer in the game.
If a writer failed at getting this, then yeah.
Best game direction. I thought this one was... So the award for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction design. The nominees were Baldur's Gate 3. That's interesting. So, Spider-Man 2 shouldn't even have been nominated based off this description. But anyways, Super Mario Wonder, and then Tears of the Kingdom. I just think it's interesting. It says creative vision and innovation in Spider-Man 2's there. But anyways.
It was so great. Nope. The game was great. Nope. It was game of the year.
No, if there was an award for safest game of the year, it would have been. It would have given it Spider-Man 2, yeah. And the winner was Alan Wake 2 for best game direction. I'm going to be honest, like any of these could have won besides probably Spider-Man 2. They all had a really good direction. I wouldn't have been mad at any of these.
All of them did a good job.
And then the big Bambino Game of the Year for 2023. The nominees were Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom. And as you know, it was the BG3, Baldur's Gate 3 sweep. Nobody seemed to be surprised on the internet except for Spider-Man fans. And I think the unfortunate thing about Baldur's Gate 3 winning is that the conversation shifted to just Spider-Man fans crying that we didn't even get any time to properly celebrate it. Like, it's the very next day.
Funny.
For a good 3-4 days on Twitter, niggas was uploading gameplay. How could this
TikTok
be?
was crazy.
Yeah, TikTok was crazy. Motherfuckers was uploading Spider-Man cutscenes comparing it to Baldur's Gate 3 gameplay. And I'm just like, bro, you guys are kind of proving that you're kind of like, I seen a tweet that said, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of agree. It made me laugh. And this is coming from, I like Spider-Man 2, but I kind of agree with this tweet. It says Spider-Man 2 is the Call of Duty of single player games. And I was like, I did kind of turn my brain off playing that game. It's not like playing Alan Wake 2. And I was like, I like Call of Duty. There's nothing wrong with that, but a lot of people got insulted by that. And I was like, yeah, it is what it is. But how we feeling about Game of the Year, JG?
I mean, I think it's deserved. Like I said, I'm not a Baldur's Gate 3 person. Thought I would be until I, found out what type of game it was, but that's fine. Ethos was very high on it, and when that game came out the gate and I saw all those high scores and saw how people were acting, I was like, yeah, I think that this is going to be a shoe-in. Siggy knew it too, as mad as he was about Zelda. Yeah, he had to cope. He had to eat that because he knew what was going to happen, but yet, seeing it, he was like, man, just fuck it.
You know who I'm surprised loves Baldur's Gate 3?
Oh.
Flock. I'm like, you played it? He was like, yeah. He was like, somebody maybe. Yeah, he said he was talking about it last night on stream. You can go check my vlog. He says he loves the game.
He's playing it?
Somebody said that, like, I guess one of his friends had told him, if you like Diablo, you'll like Baldur's Gate. He said he gave it a chance, and he said he really likes it. He said he really likes it. I was like, word? I was like, okay. I was like,
wow.
Okay.
But
that's a shocker.
The conversation. Go ahead, my bad.
Holy shit. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the conversation kind of shifted to, I seen a lot of people say, how did Baldur's Gate 3 win? Who the fuck played that game? I saw a lot of that. And I don't know if you guys know, but Baldur's Gate 3 sold 22 million in its first month. Most games will never sell 20 million. 22 million in the first month. So that argument, who played it, by the Spider-Man fans is horrible, because Spider-Man 2 only sold 5 million copies. And I looked it up before we started recording this. It's not even like close. So I don't even understand what that argument is. One thing I saw that was really cool though on TikTok is I seen a TikTok the other day. This kid was like, all right, man. He's like, I'm a big Spider-Man fan, but he's like, everybody keeps talking about this Baldur's Gate 3. He's like, I downloaded it. He's like, I'm going to see what it's about. Yeah, he was like, I got it. I'll try it.
Let's rate it what it is.
So he said, I only got 3 hours on the game, but he's like, I'm not going to lie. He's like, at first I didn't like the gameplay. And it was a brother, by the way, so it made me happy. But he was like, after about 3 hours in, he's like, I realized, he's like, oh, this is kind of like chess. And he was like, then he's like, the story's real interesting. He's like, I can do whatever I want with the characters. He's like, I'm not going to lie. He's like, I'm only a few hours in. And he's like, I think I'm starting to understand it. I'm like, yes, just try it. And if it's not for you, that's fine. But I was like, I like to see that. I was like, I like to see that, man.
That is a gist of it. Like, just try out new things. I mean, again, people are so scared of change. People are scared of just trying things out. Like, again, Ethos shouts all the time about Game Pass. Like, like services like that allow you to, take the chance. You don't have to spend $60, $70 to, try something out. But like in situations like this where you have the Game Awards and you see something that you've never heard about win something, like it should interest a lot of people instead of, making them upset about it. So shout out to that person for trying. I wish other people did it. Baldur's Gate people have been waiting for years, for Baldur's Gate 3. So I totally understand how when Baldur's Gate 3 came out, that their whole community just really came out and supported the hell out of this game. Like, people just don't understand the impact and like some of these franchises and how they feel, even though like technically it's kind of a niche audience, but again, that niche audience is a big audience. So like, again, you can see how the impact is and what ended up happening here this year, and how Baldur's Gate 3, when it came out, people were like, yeah, this is a game of the year. I don't think anything else is going to touch it this year.
Yeah, I think when people hear the word niche, they automatically assume small, but niche doesn't always mean small. It just means like something specific sometimes.
I would say it's definitely like it's a game in a genre that is a very niche genre.
It's a gamer's game. It's hardcore.
But it became mainstream, I think, because of like 20 million people. Like, that's like almost unheard of from like us, like normal CRPG level. Like, if you told a AAA publisher like, hey, we're gonna make a CRPG, they automatically assume that the sales are gonna be like, they're not gonna be big like a action adventure game like Spider-Man, which is Also, kind of insane what you brought up to TBH too, because then if you think about it, it's like I was arguing with somebody on Twitter about this, where they were just trying to they do the same thing every year. They said that they tried the same thing with God of War, where they try to argue and say because it was a PlayStation 5 exclusive, that's why it lost, because people didn't have access to it. And I've been trying to make this point where I've been like, the pandemic is over. It's not there is no longer there's no excuse of talking about.
I just googled it.
Get their hands on
There's 46 million PS5 sold to date.
Exactly.
So you should have one. Everybody should have one.
Everyone
Are Sony Ponies lying? You niggas aren't buying your exclusives? What?
And the other thing is, like, not only do you have, that's like either the PlayStation fan base is not buying these single player games like that in mass that you guys make it out to be, because Spider-Man. But then the other thing
for Fortnite.
Spider-Man is arguably the biggest superhero, if not in the top 3 biggest, most popular, most recognized.
It's the number one selling. It's the number one selling toy.
Spider-Verse came out this year. The hype for the Spider-Man IP was insane. You had all these positive factors, and you still, with all that, with even Sony's marketing behind the back, with arguably the biggest selling console on the market, you still couldn't wipe out Baldur's Gate, which was not even a full launch. It wasn't even on Xbox. It didn't even launch on PS5 the same day that it launched on PC. PC got it like a month before everybody else, and it hit 40 million, you said? It hit 40 million sales.
No,
20 million?
22.
It hit 20 million sales on just Steam alone, and that's before then it got touched by PS5. And I remember it's because a lot of when it first came out and they got all the scores, I remember what happened. I remember it like it was yesterday. All the PlayStation people started to like immediately be like, oh, this isn't going to be Spider-Man though, and then the Nintendo people said it's not as good as talk and stuff like that. Then it came out on PS5. Then all the PlayStation people were all like, I guess I'll try it out since it got all 10 out of 10s and stuff. And then they started to play it, and then now Xbox has access to it. So now every single main console except for the Switch, because there's no way in hell that's going to be able to run on a Switch. But it seems like now everyone's going to have access to it and now be able to play it. You guys remember back when I was playing it and I was on the podcast, we were on the podcast, 2-3 podcasts ago, and you asked me about it, and I told you, I was like, I don't think there's anything. I said this shit back in August. I said, I don't think there's any game that can come out for the rest of this year that's going to come close to touching this.
Yeah, you're right.
And I called, boom, everything else came out, and I was like, yeah, I don't think. The only thing that was surprising, I know we made that joke, was Alan Wake was the surprise. That was the one where I was like, I could see how, and I think you and me, TBH, we were having a joke about it, how if there was any game that could come close to sniping Game of the Year, it would have been Alan Wake 2. And yeah, if it had happened, I wouldn't even been mad, because I really enjoyed Alan Wake 2 as well. That was like the game that got closest to striking Baldur's Gate.
It got Game of the Year from Time Magazine and a couple other major publications. Yeah. That's why we were like, ooh, it might be able to be a dark horse.
It was close, and I think what makes me even more pleasantly surprised is it was a late entry. Like, that was the last major late entry, and the fact that it not only got nominated for a bunch of awards, but it won. Like, it actually
got like
was
3 or
almost
4, right?
Yeah, it was actually almost neck and neck with Baldur's Gate. So I was like, okay, like Alan Wake 2 must be about something. And if it came this late in the year, and it was able to compete, so that's what I'm pleasantly surprised about. And I think that's what made Sony fans even more mad. That you seeing Alan Wake 2 coming through and winning these awards, and you're still like, yo, Spider-Man ain't win nothing.
You know what's crazy? I guarantee you, if Alan Wake had been a PlayStation 5 exclusive, I guarantee you they would have hyped it to the heavens.
I wouldn't even have played it.
I mean, but that's also true. But
I think they would have hyped it to the heavens. I guarantee it. Like, when all the reviews and stuff had come out, they would have said it was the greatest shit they've ever played in their lives. Because like it does have that whole like narrative, third person action game type of thing. But yeah. I don't know. I think it also upsets him too. The thing that I think the joke is that I really find hilarious is like Armored Core showed up, got nominated only once, but it got its thing. Cyberpunk showed up and it got an award. It walked away with it. And it's crazy that all these other games at least walked away with one thing that, like, a lot of people would have said, oh, but Spider-Man was better than this, and then it just walks away with like absolutely nothing. I feel like this is, in my opinion, this might be a little hot take. I think this should put Sony on basically this should put Sony on watch. You should basically be like, from this point forward, any sequels that you do, this should be a learning lesson. After what happened with God of War, after now what's happened with Spider-Man, no more safe sequels. Safe sequels ain't cutting it. You doing that same formula that was working for y'all, where y'all was like, oh, we making
The Last of Us, God of War,
it's not cutting
Spider-Man. It's very formulaic, whether you guys want to acknowledge it or not. And like, they're good, but what's wrong with Spider-Man's a good game. It's a solid 8. That's what happens. Spider-Man's what happens when you play it very safe. The thing is, everything that beat it was not an 8. It was above it. And it's because they took risks. And it's one of the things, like, you have to play those games and try them and see for yourself. The moment I booted up Alan Wake 2 and I got to the end of the first chapter, because, like, I'm not gonna lie, it does start off like a little bit slow, but you get to the end of the chapter, the first chapter, and them ghosts pop up. Like, it paid off so well. The atmosphere, you was like, oh shit, like, it turned the fuck up, and it was so creative the way they implemented it, and it just, like, it gave you like chills. I was like, yeah, I was like, I get it. After the first chapter, I was like, I get it. Kept playing the game. I just beat a boss fight on stream. The shit was fucking fire, bro. Story just keeps getting better. It's creative, the atmosphere. I'm sorry, like, Spider-Man, it just didn't push the boundary, unfortunately.
What I think is happening is, I think a lot of other developers, like, they're starting to push the needle now. Like, Larian, like, I remember how when Baldur's Gate came out, fucking devs were talking about, this is an anomaly, guys. Like, devs were getting scared of it.
As if Elden Ring didn't come out last year.
Yeah, and then Elden Ring also did the same thing. And I was like, well, you should understand right now, what's happening is, what I feel like is, and I think that, this might be, I don't even think this is premature to say. I feel like we're in a renaissance right now. I feel like starting from last year forward, I feel like the last 2 years have felt like, I don't know, I just feel like a lot of the games have been getting produced and what are coming out and what people are pushing. Like, they've been really pushing the envelope. They've really been like, this is how I felt when, do you remember when we got into the Xbox 360 era and, like, all the games started to, like, the next gen, this true next generation of games.
It feels like they're finally pushing the boundary again.
Yes, now we're starting to feel that.
We definitely
didn't feel that when 360 went to 4. Like I feel like when we went from 3 to 4,
it felt like a continuation.
I didn't feel it. Yeah, it felt like we updated the graphics, but there was no, like, mechanical push of, like, wow, like, oh my god, look how this game is, like, mechanically playing or gameplay wise or system wise. Like, it was usually just a graphic update. Now I'm starting to feel like we're starting to see games that are, like, pushing the creative envelope, pushing the technical envelope with, like, Baldur's Gate, with, like, Alan Wake's lighting, like, with Cyberpunk's, like, a massive world and stuff like that, and immersion. Like, we're starting to get that now, and I think I've said it before. I felt like Sony's always been playing it a little bit too comfortable because, you know, don't get me wrong, they made some phenomenal games back in, like, that 2015 to 2018 era, like in 19 era. Like, they made some phenomenal games, but now they're in that area where, like, they're not really making new IP stuff. They're now just making sequels to those, like, big bangers that, you know, like how God of War 2018 got Game of the Year because it actually innovated. It changed how it originally was, and when they rebooted it, it was something new and different. That's how it beat Red Dead Redemption. But they're not doing that now. I don't know what they do now. I really don't.
I think we're also seeing a pushing of the envelope from consumers as well. People are starting to wake up. And an example is, like, with the Suicide Squad, like, people are, like, super iffy about that game. Just as soon as they announced it was a looter shooter, that dev diary they dropped, they showing off the mechanics and stuff like that. People are starting to question, at least a certain demographic, more. I feel like I'm starting to see more people question red flags versus just kind of going with the flow and being excited because the cutscene looks pretty and falling for the
They're waking up. They're being enlightened. How about that? We're enlightening them.
That's facts. But overall, I thought it was funny. It was fun what happened with all the crying with the Spider-Man fans, but then also it's kind of sad because it kind of dampered the actual celebration of the game.
The devs feel. I wonder how Insomniac feels. I don't feel like they're feels like slighted. I don't think, but I do wonder how, like, if they caught secondhand embarrassment, like watching fans try to defend their game, they're just like, look, guys.
I guarantee you, they know we shouldn't have won.
Why? Yeah. Like, I feel like a lot of the devs would have been like, you know what, we did a really good job, but I feel like 98% of them would just be like, yeah, no, Baldur's Gate was they killed it. They absolutely murdered it. Like, we just got to bring our A game for our next game next time.
I feel like Spider-Man got we need to put a Sony game in here, just, you know, similar to Nintendo. Like, we have to put a Mario or Zelda in here, like, just to, you know, even it out for all three platforms, all three, you know, the big three. But I don't, like I said, and it's funny because it's like, I hate to be right about this, but literally when we got the nomination, I'm like, why Spider-Man in any of these categories? It's not going to win anything, and I think it really puts the salt on the wound when you see Spider-Man in these categories and they didn't win anything. You didn't win one award, and I'm like, bro, like, I again, it's not a bad game. I hate to sound like I'm just constantly shitting on it because I like the game, but when you were comparing, we're talking about an award here. We're talking about an award for the best in whatever category. You're not going to win because it was way too much heat that came out this year, and you just have to face facts. If it was in another year, okay, maybe, but not this year. This year was a heavy hitter year, and you just got to deal with the facts, man. Like, all these big content creators, I hate it, man, because there's some people who we know that were just crying, and I'm like, bro, why are we crying on stream? Because you're making yourself look dumb right now, talking about Spider-Man should have won, and you're comparing Baldur's Gate 3, and you're like, I don't get it, man. It's really embarrassing. embarrassing. Really embarrassing.
I really just feel like overall, yeah, it was really embarrassing to watch. It was funny. I'm not gonna lie. I had a ball. That next 3 hours after it got the award was euphoria. Just like going on TikTok or watching Twitter, just watching people like lose their minds. And then like just the days after was just like I don't know, we just kept going. And it was just like, okay, it was funny the first day. Second day was even more funnier. But then it was like day 3. Give it up for day 3. Give it up for day 4. And they're still going. I'm just like, what are you like? Who are you trying to convince? Like, I'm confused. Like, any other time, this had not been if this had just been any conversation, what person in their right mind would compare a third-person action adventure game with an in-depth RPG? Like, it just doesn't. It's like comparing apples and oranges. It doesn't make sense. But they just are like, oh, well, look at how flashy the combat is. Look at our cutscenes. Like, I just knew something was just.
If you like the game so much, why do y'all care about what they say at the award show? The award show is going to be considered a joke for the longest. Now y'all care all of a sudden, bro. That shit is fucking.
Yeah, they always try to say, "Oh, the Game Awards doesn't matter. It's a joke." But I'm like, okay, this is why I don't ever agree with that statement. Is that one? Every single year, it keeps getting more and more viewership. So it is, in fact, a very popular thing. And 2, people constantly react to it. And you can't tell me that, oh, it doesn't matter. It's a joke. It's always a joke. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares about this. But I'm like, millions of people are tuning into this thing. Jeff puts up the stats every year. And every year he breaks records. Every year.
It was 600,000 people waiting on YouTube before the show even started. Like 3 hours.
Care.
Right. It was millions of people watching that shit, bro.
Y'all care about this award. Y'all need to stop lying. You care when you win. And then when you lose, then you start yelling, oh, it's fraud. Oh, it's a conspiracy. Oh, it's all this and that. Look, I said it before. JG said it before. We said it back 2 podcasts ago. I said it. I said, yo, Spider-Man does not deserve to be in the Game of the Year conversation. I said that. I stood by that shit, and I still stand by that. I think it's a good game. It wasn't good enough. That's all it was. It was a solid game. It was just, very good, well put together, good presentation, really solid story. I love my boy Spider-Man. I'm a big Spider-Man fan too as well. It just wasn't good enough. I'm sorry. It just wasn't. You just got to go back to you got to take it on the shoulder, go back to the whiteboard and try again.
I uploaded my full reaction of the award show, 3 hours and 28 minutes on my highlight channel, 16,000 views. I only have 8,000 subs on that channel. I don't promote it. So niggas acting like they don't care. This video is going viral for that channel. It's a 3-hour video and motherfuckers are just watching the whole thing, me reacting to it. So clearly you guys care about this shit.
I mean, it's the only major metric that we have. Like I said, the Grammys, people, complain about the Grammys all the time, but this is the Grammys of video games. Like it is what it is. And I understand that it's not the end all be all. You like what you like, but this is the only real metric that we have. This is the biggest metric that we have. So it has to have some merit when these games win these awards. You can't just dismiss it as it's not, they're not good games just because they win things.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. The definition of a gamer has changed since we were kids. Like when we were kids, if I told you I was a gamer, that meant that I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2, NFL Game Day or Madden, and I played Ratchet and Clank. It meant everything. Now, when you say you're a gamer, that might just mean you play Fortnite or Genshin Impact or something like. I've been saying it for the years, and this show proved it. It's been the rise of the hardcore casual. Gamers who think they're more hardcore than what they are, but really, they just play 1 or 2 specific games a lot. So what happened is you got people who play Call of Duty, 2K, Madden, Fortnite, maybe Apex. That's all they play. And then they play something like Spider-Man. It's the same thing we've been saying about these Uncharted niggas, bro. The most mind-blowing
this is
shit.
Like a 2016 part 2. We get the conclusion of that.
So yes, Spider-Man is mind-blowing to you if all you play is fucking Fortnite, bruh. And then you go to the award show and you're thinking, oh, I'm a gamer. I play COD, I play Fortnite, I play Spider-Man. Of course Spider-Man is gonna win. What's better than Spider-Man? Baldur's Gate 3? What the fuck is that? You niggas is frauds, bro. You're frauds.
A lot of fraud watch was, I'm not gonna lie, even you talk about our friends, some friends we know, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. A lot of people just got put on fraud watch. A lot of people, to see that this caught people off guard, a lot of fraudulent, like, you want fraud.
It's one of the most confusing things I think about, like, my own personal content. People be like, yo, play more. Like, I love fucking games. So yes, I'm going to play Alan Wake 2, and it's to my own detriment. I know it's not going to get the viewership, but I at least want to try it and understand why it's in the conversation, and also just for like the experience. I just like the culture. I like the games, but I don't think a lot of people are like that, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I think the issue is you niggas are loud and you're wrong. You don't even. It's the lack of self-awareness It's the lack of self-awareness that I think I'm poking fun at more than anything. The Spider-Man community, at least. But hey, I appreciate the laugh. We appreciate the memes.
Hey, it was hilarious.
It was fucking hilarious. We'll see you next year. What's the name? It wasn't just the results that was a big thing too. The award show is also big for reveals, and we got a lot of major reveals at the award show. It almost felt like a little mini E3, especially because the E3 is dead. I know. We thought,
there you go. Just put in the topic. E3 is dead.
Pull one out.
E3 is dead. In case you guys missed it, they announced it officially on Twitter. Matter of fact, let me pull it up on the screen just so you guys don't think I am capping. People in my Twitch stream kept asking me, what do you think of this, TBH? What do you think of this? I was like, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I thought they were already dead. Like, so I was like, yeah.
It was just the final nail. They were just like, all right, man, like, forget it. We kept trying for years. Yeah, we're done.
But doesn't matter. We got the Game Awards, and we got some major announcements during the Game Awards. Those include, so a new Monster Hunter game called Monster Hunter Wilds is coming in 2025. It's supposed to be a big open world game. I'm hearing it's drawing inspirations from Breath of the Wild. I don't know what that means, but that's coming. Do y'all care about Monster Hunter?
Or climbing.
Boo. I was more upset that it was the last reveal, because we thought we was going to get some Elden Ring. Like, everybody was hoping for Elden Ring at the end, and we got that bull. Like, all right, bro, get out of here, Capcom. Here y'all go.
Monster Hunter people seem happy about it.
Of course they are.
I guess they're excited, but everybody else
good for the Monster Hunter community.
Yeah, good for y'all.
I think that should have been in the middle of the show. That should have been in the middle show, not the final announcement.
That felt like such like a blue balls, because it was like, you could have done Final Fantasy Rebirth, I guess, and put that at the end instead. But it's like,
we could have got Blade at the end. I would have been
Blade would have been so much cooler at the end. It's like, what? Like, another Monster Hunter? Okay.
Hideo Kojima stood 10 minutes on stage with Jordan Peele, and they announced their new game called Overdose. It's a horror game. Jordan Peele is supposed to be helping write it. He also hinted he has other major writers that are going to be on board. The thing is, like, the trailer was just like a bunch of faces. I don't really know what the fuck it is. And then they stood on stage, and this is actually one of the criticisms I've seen a lot of people on Twitter bring up. So two criticisms, like there was basically too much favoritism towards Kojima, and then somebody else. They got way too much stage time.
Sean Murray.
Yeah, and they didn't even have anything to show for it. And then also they were shooing winners off of stage, so it felt less like a celebration of the gaming culture and more just about like reveals, like spectacle and basically that. And like I thought about it because like at the end of the show I gave it an 8. I was like, this is the best award show. But then I read those tweets. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna dial it back. I think I'm gonna drop it to a 7 because I was like, I think that's fair. I was like, they did spend too much fucking time on this OD game. He had nothing to show for it. 10 minutes just circle jerking. And then I was like, they did shoo him off stage a little too fast. Like, let them get this is their moment. Like, let them celebrate. So I was like, that's a fair criticism. I'm not mad at that. He's got some stuff that he's got to keep in mind. But anyways, what did y'all think of OD in this announcement, Jay?
What the hell are we looking at? I mean, this is typical Hideo Kojima. Because this is exactly what happened with the last game, right? Like, we don't know what's going on, and then once you actually see the gameplay, you're like, oh, what the hell is this? Like, nobody cared about this. So like I said, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic because again, the story could be freaking amazing. You could blow everybody out the water, but if this is supposed to be a video game, then I want to actually be able to play the video game, and I want to be immersed in the video game, because if not, then this could just be a movie. So we have no clue what's going on here, so we're just going to have to wait, like always, for more reveals from Hideo. But shout out to Jordan Peele. I mean, I like the collaboration, and I think that whatever the story is, it should be fire from a narrative standpoint. But I just hope that I can actually play it as a video game instead of it just being a narrative experience.
Anything, Ethos? No, you just agree?
Same thing. I wasn't interested in this at all until I saw Jordan Peele. Then I was like, okay, now you have my curiosity. Now I'll lock in and see what this is about. I did see some things online about how this is actually like a Silent Hill. This is related to, like, it's not Silent Hill, but apparently the project, there was like, they zoomed into like stills of the shots of like their eyes and their mouth, and apparently it was like there was text hidden throughout the trailer, so there's like more I guess, some sort of like surprise Easter egg stuff in the trailer, and it seems to be mentioning Silent Hill in it some way somehow. So some people are saying that it might be a spiritual successor to PT, which was on PlayStation. I'm gonna push this. I'm gonna push the agenda on this shit no matter what, because it's gonna be on Game Pass probably, because it is Xbox. This is the game that Kojima was working with Xbox that he said he wanted to use the cloud for. So whatever this is gonna be, I think if we're talking about he was like, I'm going to be using Xbox's like ecosystem in order to get this thing to work. And on top of that, it seems to be some experimental type thing. And then I think he's using metahumans. I think I saw that at the end of the trailer. He's using Unreal 5, which is kind of interesting. I could be wrong. I could be spreading some information. So
what do you mean by metahumans?
So yeah, if I'm wrong about this, somebody in the chat, please correct me on this. This is the first time where I'm actually saying, well, actually, niggas, please show up. From what I don't know if I just fever dream this, but I think I saw somewhere metahumans is basically when Unreal Engine 5 came out, they did that tech demo of like the really realistic like facial animations in humans.
Oh, I remember that. Okay.
Yeah, that was their metahuman section for UE5. It allows you to have like insane fidelity. You could create like really high fidelity CGI actors within Unreal 5 like extremely fast, without like the need of like a specialist, like a CGI artist to really like sculpt them or whatever. And you can get realistic animations like really fast out of the engine. I think that was tied into that, which is interesting because he's been using for Death Stranding, he's been using the Decima engine, which is the PlayStation engine. And this is what I think. This is why I don't think I'm dreaming this, is because that Decima engine is owned by PlayStation, because it's the Horizon engine. It's the engine that Sony built internally. That what's the name of the developer? The ones that made the Horizon Zero Awards game. I meant Zero Dawn. Whatever. The Killzone people. What's their studio name? I don't know why I'm blanking on it right now.
Killzone.
They did Horizon Zero Dawn. What's the name of them?
Gorilla? Is it Gorilla?
Gorilla, yeah, Gorilla.
Yes, that's right.
Their in-house engine was the Decima engine, and so when Kojima went independent, and they were like, "Oh, let's help you with that," he used the Decima engine to make Death Stranding. But now that he's working on this game, and it's 100% it's going to be an Xbox exclusive. I'd be shocked if it's not. Since we know it's an Xbox exclusive, I bet you there's some legal problems of him using the Decima engine with potentially on the Xbox like ecosystem that PlayStation's not happy about. So they probably said you're not allowed to use it. Hence why I think that's why he's using UE5 for this. So that's my little dev spiel on that. If I'm wrong about that, please correct me, but that's my...
Nigga, who cares? Is this shit gonna be fun? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
It's for nerds, bro.
I'm happy to see Jordan Peele about that. This boy was... I'm telling you, bro, this boy Kojima... I've never seen Kojima giddy about another person. Like, that was the first time I seen him on stage.
He said, hey, black man.
He was like, black man, this is my black friend. This is a black...
Oh, you saying Kojima was looking at Jordan Peele, how Jeff looks at Hideo?
I was like, yo, this man looked like how like Jeff Keighley be looking at Kojima. He was like, I'm so excited because I know he's a big fan of, he was a big fan of, what was that last one? Nope. He really liked Nope, and I think he really liked Get Out as well. So I know he's been a big like movie fan of Jordan Peele stuff. So it makes sense why now he's like, oh, now we're gonna work together and make some cool thing. So really cool.
Freaking God of War DLC, man. It's out right now.
I haven't downloaded it yet.
I heard it's good too. Yeah. I heard it gives some good closure and like some backstory to like the old games. So like I'm gonna play that next week. I was gonna download that.
They said this was longer than the Call of Duty campaign.
Why were the devs acting like crybabies about that shit? He didn't even say it was bad. He just said it was short. That's it.
First of all, nigga, you campaigned one short and it sucked. Yeah. Like, what are we talking about, bro? The niggas butthurt because they got fucking work to death and that shit came out trash and like you're like, come on, bro, like, cut it out. This shit was short. Which
mad at Activision.
Speaking of downloads, not only did I hear this God of War Ragnarok DLC download is fire. For those unaware, the demo for I forgot to put this on the notes. The demo for Tekken 8 dropped. I played it yesterday. Fire. If you haven't played it, I don't know if either one of you played it. It's pretty short.
I know without. Okay.
Yeah, it's got story mode in it and the arcade. The story mode is fire. I'm not gonna lie, Mortal Kombat fans, they're coming for you. Like, it's full blown cutscenes, straight anime. I was like, it's gonna get the casual crowd. I was like, yeah, this is the pacing order is much better. The new heat system, and the arcade mode is kind of cool. So like, definitely play it, Jay. Like, I want to hear what you think of that. But Flock said in my chat, he was like, it's fire. So if you haven't, be aware of that. But anyways. Other announcements at the Game Awards. Marvel's Blade is in development by Arcane Studios. For those unaware, by the way, Arcane has two studios. This is not the studio that worked on Redfall. This is the other one.
Leave them alone.
Just no, because I saw that, and people don't know. People don't know that.
They're not
the
same.
It's not the same studio.
It's crazy
okay?
though, because this would be like a blunder, right? See for them, thinking that it's the same developers who made Redfall. Now they gonna think Arcane is just a shit studio, and we know they're not.
They made Prey, Dishonored, definitely.
Yeah, this is the group that made Dishonored. This is the good side of the studio, basically. So yeah, they announced Blade. I read up on this. Apparently, it's in super early development. I'm gonna be honest, based off what I read, I think this reveal trailer is all they had to show. I think they got some concept art, and that's about it. It sounds like we're years out from this.
They hyped it. We just got the IP.
Yeah. But I was still excited because this is one of those things. Is like we were saying it on stream. How did they keep this under wraps? Like this one was a really good drop. I would think a character as big as Blade would have leaked before the award show.
Someone would have leaked this thing.
Yeah.
I wonder, are they trying to? Because I don't remember when the movie is supposed to come out. I know they got that was under controversy too. So I wonder, are they trying to bring this out in conjunction with the movie?
Yeah, maybe that was the case. Maybe it's supposed to coincide with MCU's Blade.
That movie ain't never coming out. They don't even got a script for that.
Probably
shit.
not.
I know, that's a bad thing about it, man.
I don't know about that one. Sega announced 5 new games. Basically, they're bringing back Shinobi, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio. All older games, but they're bringing them back. I was excited when I saw Jet Set Radio, and that Shinobi game looked pretty cool. I like Crazy Taxi too. Like
Crazy Taxi's back.
I was like, yes.
Golden Axe. Like I liked all these games. Streets of Rage, Streets of Rage is my joint. So I was like, thank you, Sega.
I was like, yes, Sega is finally going back into their, because for those unaware, kids, there was a day and age when Sega used to make consoles and other games that weren't fucking Sonic. And they're finally going back into their bag and getting some of their heavy hitters. I'm surprised you didn't say, all right, well, this is the part where Capcom needs to do the same. Onimusha. I'm surprised you didn't say that, did you?
why you this man stepping on my joke, bro. You stepping on my joke.
I was waiting for it.
Sega does what Capcom don't. This is what you're supposed to do. Come on, Capcom. That's why I'm on your ass because of this, bro. Sega, look at what Sega is doing. All you gotta do is say Onimusha is coming out. Dig into your bag of IP that you ain't doing nothing with, and bring me my fucking Onimusha, and bring Power Stone while you at it. Stop playing.
They should bring Power Stone back. That shit was fire.
Power Stone will be fire, bro.
Yeah,
it would be fire. This day and age, the streamer culture.
Oh yeah, they love that shit.
No Man's Sky developer, they revealed a new game called Light No Fire. Supposedly it takes place on one planet. It is a co-op, I think like a survival type of game. Online. They're trying to make it more ambitious. It's gonna have dragon riding in it and a bunch of cooperative elements. Was this doing anything for y'all?
Not me.
It doesn't
I
get
never
over
played No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, No Man's Sky is cool, so I'll check it out, I guess. Yeah, it looked cool. The concept was cool, but I'm not.
Yeah, I'm good off the survival games. Yeah. Final Fantasy 16 DLC. Anybody?
I was surprised about that, but like the people who still play Final Fantasy, they went and beat it like the day of that it dropped. I'm like, damn, they were excited about it. So I'm like,
when does the PC version come out allegedly? Next year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you haven't played it?
No, I've been holding off because I was like gonna play, but then you told me the PS5 was like getting cooked, and I was like, oh, I'll wait till it goes on PC then.
I mean, it played fine for me technically.
It was some people's PS5s that were getting cooked. Mine didn't.
I was fine.
But if you could do me a favor, do you have a PlayStation 5 controller near you? Anywhere near you, Ethos?
I got an Xbox Game Pass controller.
Okay, that works. Well, that makes sense. Let's pretend like it's a PlayStation controller. All right, so you want to play Final Fantasy 16?
Yeah.
Press the X button on your controller for me. Now just keep pressing A. But anyways, now just keep pressing that and pressing that and pressing that, and you're gonna win the combat. You're welcome. I just saved you about 40 hours.
On hard difficulty?
It's the same shit, bro. You're welcome. That's gonna piss off the phone. What? It's so much deeper.
You could do combos.
There's no elements in the game.
Well, it can't be worse than 15's combat, so I'll take it.
I feel like I had more fun with 15. That's the crazy part.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh, damn.
Don't say that. Please don't say that. No, you're lying. You're lying.
I fell asleep playing 16. It was so fucking boring, bro.
I was actually very excited for 16 too.
We all were. I don't know what happened.
I hope I'm not.
Don't worry, Rebirth is coming. Top of the year, Rebirth.
That's true.
You know what's crazy? I don't care about Rebirth.
Why?
Oh, you wally.
I just don't. It's
You
doing nothing
smoking,
for me.
bro.
It's literally doing nothing for me.
Oh, okay.
It does
just
look a
not-
little samey, but I mean, it's part
I'm just
two.
like, okay,
It's
just
part two of a game we
I
already
want the
played. though.
continuation of the story.
Yeah, I'm playing it for the story.
Yeah,
All
maybe. I just, I don't think it looks bad. It looks great. I don't know why. It's just not doing anything for me.
Most anticipated game next year, and that's what they said. What the
Where's my Wolf Among Us? That's what I want.
That shit ain't coming out. Didn't they collapse?
We still have any news.
Oh, bro, not yet.
I thought they did. They collapsed like every other week. What about Rise of the What about Rise of the Ronin? Is that doing anything for you? March 2024 release date.
Yeah, Rise of the Ronin look fire.
It looks like Neo.
It does look
Kind of, yes.
Wulong vibes I'm getting. But it does look good. I'm curious to see how the story plays out. I'm
Another
excited
game
for this one.
to test the tier list.
Oh yeah, Skull and Bones release date. You guys, February 16th.
Is it final? They've been pushing it back. They've been pushing it back for years. So
February 8th.
The final date.
February 8th. They're gonna put. Sorry guys, we're gonna have to push it back one more time.
Yeah.
Lost Record Bloomin' Rage is the next game from the Life is Strange crew. You got excited about this, Ethos. It looked like Life is Strange DLC.
I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna play it too.
I'm gonna play it.
Because I love Life is Strange. So
I love that shit. See, look, you all by yourself.
I'm not playing this
No,
teeny
you
bopper
like it.
shit. You're right. I don't care. I'll be ignorant.
You
I'm not
by
playing
yourself.
this. I'm not playing this teeny bopper shit. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure about this story, like this particular story, but I'm
Nah, embrace the teen life, bro. Embrace it.
Hey, I thought the same thing about last month.
TRL.
I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this shit, and I ended up loving it. So I was
the
like,
the
I
Donai
love
universe though, they be cooking, bro.
Yeah, I'll be cooking. Man.
Yeah,
Went from that.
I'll
to,
watch y'all play it.
Refugees do it. All right.
I'll watch y'all play it.
When you gonna get Wolf Among Us?
I told you I'll play it when Wolf Among Us 2 gets an
We're gonna
official
need you to-
release date. So
Hey, I
never,
don't-
so never,
we don't need
nigga,
you to speak.
never.
I need you to- I'm a little concerned we might not get it, so I'm gonna need you to.
Nope.
I go ask you every pod, bro.
My time is
I'm
precious.
Gonna need you to suffer.
My time. And you know the funny part is, like 5 years from now, I'm gonna finally play that shit. I'll be like, you know what, that shit was actually
It was
fire.
good. Yeah, we know you're gonna like it.
And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna still say, fuck you niggas, bro.
Me and JD both know you're gonna like it.
I'm
We
a still
know you're gonna
troll.
love it.
Telling you.
Oh my god. Oh, Dragon Ball. This one kind of confused people. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero was revealed, and people were thrown off because we're supposed to get Tenkaichi Force. And now, for those of you unaware, research in Japan, it's not called Tenkaichi. It's called Sparking Zero. So for some reason, they decided to bring that name stateside. This is Tenkaichi 4. This was gameplay for it.
Oh, so they're
No,
not
see,
separate games.
No, they're not
that's
separate
how
games.
No, that's how they're tricking you though. They're tricking you because they're bringing that name over. It's making people like, oh, this ain't Tenkaichi. It's
Yeah,
something different. So
they got you, Ethos. Damn.
What you mean? I didn't know nothing.
I thought you was a big Tenkaichi 3 fan. I thought you would have known it was Sparking Zero.
No, I didn't know none of this. I just learned this now. How did you not know this?
I found it out from TikTok, and then I did research, and it turned out it was true. It turned out it was true. Right?
I didn't
it
know.
confused everybody. See, look at that.
I was fucking confused.
Yeah, so there's not 2 Dragon Ball Z games coming. This is Tenkaichi 4. Call it what you
looks
want.
Good.
Yeah. Rocket Racing that got announced for Fortnite. That's a new game mode where you can race from the Rocket League people. People are really loving that. They're saying it takes a lot of skill and it's very fun, fast paced. There's also a rumor that sports is supposed to be coming to Fortnite, and if it does, I will download Fortnite because fuck 2K.
Make sure you get your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle skin, by the way.
Those skins actually look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, go ahead and pick it up before it leaves the store.
Still not. I'm not gonna buy it. They're not getting my money. I don't play that game. They're not getting my money.
You will when the basketball game comes out. And you'd be like, damn, I look like a scrub.
No, I like every time I boot up Fortnite once every 5 years, and people judge me for having no skin. So I'm gonna keep it that way. I like to be a rebel, without cause.
Broke. I got it.
Yeah, rebel. Speaking of rebel, you know that movie from Zack Snyder, Rebel Moon, the Star Wars type movie. Netflix.
Yeah,
the reviews came out this morning. I was looking forward to it, man. That shit's sitting at a 9%. They said it's ass.
Damn.
Yeah.
A 9?
Yeah.
Oh. No, I actually was looking forward to that. It looked kind of cool.
Yeah, the trailer looked really cool. Yeah, look at that, Rebel Moon.
Please don't say.
Ori and the Blind Forest developers, they announced a new game called No Rest for the Wicked. I like that title. That's real. I believe this one was a. You looking at the reviews? You said, "God damn!"
Okay, it went up. It got 32 now.
Oh, watch out! Maybe we'll get to 50 by end of the week.
Yeah, maybe we'll get 50 with more people checking it out.
I woke up this morning. I looked at my phone on Twitter and I saw 9%. I said, "Fuck!"
Jesus Christ.
Oh, jeez. This is I believe a co-op 2D.5 action adventure game. I didn't really care for this one. Did y'all care?
What was it?
And I mean, I don't really know what's going on. So
Reveal. No Rest for the Wicked. If you go towards the end of the trailer, the second half, it shows gameplay.
I don't give a fuck with this shit.
Yeah, it's a top-down action
Right.
adventure like co-op game, I think. But it's like 2D.5 because there's sections where the camera switches. I'm like, this looks like a game I'd play if I had nothing else to play, but I don't know. Off rip. That just
yeah,
seems
right
what?
now for me.
No,
I mean, yeah, it look all right, but
you said it's called No Time for the Wicked.
No Rest for the Wicked.
Rest for
The only reason I say keep an eye on it
yeah.
is because it's the Ori developers and they do Ori is a
It's
fire
from the
game.
people that abuse their employees.
Wait, they do?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that? It was like a year ago. There was like a expose that came out about the studio culture and said that the two main like creators behind Ori, they basically abused their employees and stuff like that, and they were very abusive. They were crunching them and everything else. So you had to get both the Ori games. Yeah. So it's like, damn, they made good games, but apparently like the two creators behind them are apparently like dickheads.
Yikes.
sucks.
Oh, this is
Looks
one of
cool,
this is one of the big reveals. So some veterans from BioWare left the studio and formed their new studio, and this is their first major game. It is called Exodus, and this shit looks like a Mass Effect.
This shit is Mass Effect.
Yeah, I was like, this shit look fire. In the second half, when they revealed the gameplay, the visuals, you know we love that space shit, bruh.
Yes, sir.
And it's made by people, because the BioWare that's there now is like a shell of itself. I think this is the real BioWare making it right here, boy. Like this, we might have another Respawn Entertainment, like Infinity War Respawn Entertainment situation on our hands here, because this shit is looking good. And JG, we want you to be there, you know, when this one drops, so you know you can understand the Archangel.
You don't miss out on
the Archangel.
This could also be a multi-studio situation, so we hope it's not.
Wait, what studio?
Motor Studio, who made Dead Space.
Oh,
when those developers came,
Dead Space. No, you mean the shitty Dead Space. What's that shit called?
Yeah, Visceral, Motor and Visceral. Yeah, Visceral games.
Whatever his name is. Yeah.
Why would you Why would you hope for the worst though? Why would you do that?
I'm not hoping for the worst. I'm not. Wait, you know what? My bad.
Can somebody explain to me why is Wizards of the Coast tied to this?
I don't know.
Like they're the ones that
isn't
like
that card?
Gathering.
That's them card nerds, ain't it?
They do Magic the Gathering and D&D.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where you be on the weekends.
Yo, shut the.
That's why you got excited. That's what you want to know. Wait,
no, I'm just trying to understand how a new IP has to do with with that. Like, are they gonna make Magic cards?
Is my favorite Magic deck gonna be in this Exodus space game? Wait a minute.
Fun fact, guys, for all you Magic nerds out there, not only are we getting a Fallout Commander decks, but we're also Lara Croft is now a Magic card, and we're also getting Ezio from Assassin's Creed. We're getting every video game character in a card, bro. This shit is fucking amazing. We have the multiverse, bro. We got the fucking multiverse over here, man. We have the Fortnite of card games.
Spider-Man fans, if you want to know who plays Baldur's Gate, just that guy right there, bro. You can tell. You can tell who's the Baldur's Gate players. They announced a new Jurassic Park game. Fucking nerds, bro. You know what's so funny, yo? I be saying like nerd shit, and I'll read the comments, and motherfuckers be getting so mad. I just be joking, bro. I really don't care if you guys like those. I like those type of games too. I'm literally just talking shit. Y'all gotta relax, but
TBH is a fucking nerd.
Yeah, I'm a fucking nerdy. You always get mad at it. Y'all gotta learn to laugh at yourselves.
Chat, he's playing Alan Wake too. He's a fucking nerd.
Something like that.
He was struggling trying to solve a puzzle. He couldn't even figure out what European time format was. Make fun of him about that in the comments.
Oh my god!
His boy was struggling. He didn't know what European time format, bro. His brain was cooked. He was trying to do this puzzle, chat. I swear to God, y'all can clown him in the comment section below. He couldn't figure out that in European time the day becomes is the first sequence and then the month, not month and day. He had too much Americanism in his brain.
Puzzle king, right? Puzzle king. That's you.
First of all, it's the puzzle god, and second of all, don't make me bring up the chat log when you admitted, oh, I was struggling on this part too. Don't do that. That puzzle was that was the first part. I would have figured it out. You niggas was on my dick, bro, the whole time I was trying to do it, bro.
Tell me, just fucking tell. This motherfucker. I brought him, bro. I literally brought him to the water, JG, and I was like, just drink the water. It's right here. And he kept hitting the fucking bowl over and over. We literally told him, I said, he kept putting in 16. I said, TBH, you literally said 17. He put in 16 again. I said, TBH.
I'm an American. What the fuck is a kilometer, nigga? What the fuck is that shit? I don't care nothing about no European calendar, bro.
What the fuck is a kilometer?
Nothing about that shit, bro. Bald eagles and pistols, nigga. The fuck?
Don't let this man insult you, Chad.
Hey, to be fair though, I've been doing good on the game. Motherfuckers was hating. Motherfuckers thought I was just gonna be stuck the whole time playing the game.
I'm gonna give you 100% credit because I said if you go back to my playthrough on Twitch, I said multiple times as I played this when I was doing certain puzzle, I was like, oh, TBH probably gonna quit on this shit. TBH gonna quit on this. I said when I did the security thing, I was like, oh, there's no way TBH is gonna keep going after this.
That puzzle you saw me play today, that was legit the first time I got stuck in the game. There's moments where like
I thought you was gonna quit way earlier. I really did.
Nah, I stuck with it, and like I'm not gonna lie, that game do be frying my brain. Like I can't play it for like more than like 2 or 3 hours. Like you have to sit up and like think when you play the shit, but it is a good time. One like the action sequences, it pays off. But anyway, you
like the water thing? I missed it. You fought the whole like the drowning with the old lady and stuff like that. With
you talking about Cynthia?
Yeah, in the bunker.
The lady, the lady who didn't like being old. Yeah. That shit was fire. It was cool. I liked it. That was a cool little boss fight. Jurassic Park survival game got announced by Saber Interactive. I'm getting kind of like Outlast vibes with dinosaurs. I
was so happy
Alien Isolation.
It wasn't a fucking narrative game. I was so happy when I saw there was actual gameplay and movement. I was like, oh, praise God.
Oh, you thought it was gonna be like a Telltale type? I thought it
was gonna be like a Telltale type game. I was so happy it was actually like a first person with it looked like she had a gun at one point and actually had like movement and vaulting and stuff. So.
What about Visions of Mana? Yeah. This is a super nerdy game.
That's what you like. You're a nerd, right?
Yeah, I did like the last Mana game. I played it. Actually, really did enjoy it.
Yeah. I remember you streamed that whole shit.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it. I think this is slept on. Like this is a very niche audience, but it's one of those games like I would only play it if there's nothing else to play. Like we gotta. What's that? The charity guy, what was his favorite word? We have to be in the zeitgeist. We have to be in
God. Oh no.
We have to be in the zeitgeist. So like sometimes we got to focus on playing Spider-Man 2, even though I want to play Visions of Mana, you know what I'm saying? But anyways. What was I saying? Yeah, Visions of Mana looked cool. Oh, Hellblade. Did y'all like what they showed for Senua's Saga?
Yeah, it looks like Hellblade. So I'm sold. That's all I need to see.
I just need a date. That's all.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks really good.
This is another game I'm only playing it if there's nothing else to play. Well, that's what I'm saying. If I have nothing to play at the time, then I'll play the first one because it's on Game Pass.
Here we go.
I thought you did play it.
No, it's another one.
No, that's y'all too.
He goes do the same thing. He goes say, when it gets closer to the release date, then I'll play it.
My bad. I don't know. Like it's something. It's funny because y'all talk about the puzzles in this game would turn me off. I feel like I don't see anything from the rest of the gameplay that like excites me, I guess.
You don't like having schizophrenia?
No, what the fuck?
That's what it was. The main thing about it, I mean, it had hella puzzles in there.
It has a lot.
But the main thing was like it was a lot of voices just in your head, and then like you got on headphones, like it was just in one ear and the other ear, like, and obviously you got a strong mind, but it can make a sane man go crazy.
You a little, it starts driving you a little
crazy. So
yeah, and then
it was an interesting element.
It was cool because it was like some of the voices would be helping you, but some of them would be actively trying to sabotage you because like they'd be telling you behind you, and there'd be nobody behind you.
You look back, yeah.
Like what the fuck you doing? Yeah, it's pretty.
It was innovative, man. That's why I said I liked it because I didn't think I was going to get into it. And like say Ethos, he played it first, and I was like, man, this shit kind of fire. Like once I started playing, I was like, all right, man. Yeah, I was like, I'm made to it. I
hope they expand on the gameplay. That's the thing I want from the sequel. Is I hope they really expand and allow us to do a lot more combo-y stuff. But yeah. The psychological, if you like Alan Wake, I feel like you like this game.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. We got finally one thing that I think we've all been waiting for: an official announcement for a Western release of Black Myth Wukong. And we got a release date, August 20, 2024. They actually showed off more gameplay. It looks fire. It looks gorgeous. That UE5 is looking amazing. But I was not only was I surprised we got a release date, but the voice acting was in English. They're going all in for a first game. Like this is their first game at their studio. This shit is looking crazy. This is gonna set a high bar for them. I hope they deliver because this game does look good.
It's weird. I'm not hyped for this game, but I'm excited to play it.
Yeah, that's where I would put it too. I'm excited. I wouldn't say like super hyped. Yeah,
I'm not hyped about this, but I am excited to play it when it comes out.
I think because first of all, 2023 spoiled us, and second of all, I think we're at a point where like we were seeing so many like leaks of like early footage of this, and we were like, damn, like is this actually going to be a real game? And now like we got an official trailer like on a major platform and a release date. We're like, damn, this game is actually real. So it's like, all the hype from seeing it initially like years ago is like kind of died down, but we still excited to see it come out. We're still going to play it.
I heard in the final boss fight he's going to fight Superman and lose. What do you think of that, Ethos?
Sounds about right.
Okay. This game, Tales of Kinzara. You guys were super hyped about this one. This one was based off the dude. He said he made it for his dad that passed away. It looks like Wakanda, the video game.
Yeah,
I think
it definitely does.
The only thing that concerns me about this is EA is publishing it under their originals banner, and they tend to not support games under that banner.
What do you mean? They did the It Takes Two.
Yeah, they also did Wild Hearts.
Okay, well that was different.
They also did that Yarn game.
That game was popular. What are you talking about? That game was a success.
Yarny.
Yeah, it got a sequel. It got 2 games. That's not a bad game. It actually.
You played it?
Well. No.
I'm just saying it's a 50-50. Like, I feel like It Takes Two. That studio is an outlier. The rest of these EA original games, bro, I don't know, man. Like, they don't.
I mean, it does look good.
It does look good.
It does look good.
Yeah,
It looks like Ori and the Blind Forest. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's like that type of style.
Meets Wakanda.
Yeah, Wakanda forever. Hey, it's got a black brother working on it, so yeah.
I know, like it kind of was supported because
Absolutely.
Oh, this Outlast Trials is coming to consoles. That got announced. The chat was like super excited, and then I had to bring up how Ethos never showed up to play with us. So I just want to remind everyone.
I fell asleep. I'm sorry. I was tired.
I'm trying to see. Oh, Mecha Break. Did y'all think that looked interesting? The
yes,
mech game.
Yes. It looks like AC6, but like more anime.
Is this a story-driven game? Is that multiplayer?
No, it seems multiplayer. I think it's multiplayer. You can sign up for the thing right now. What do you say? What's it called? Mechaverse?
Mecha Break. I think it's on Steam. Nintendo needs to bring back Custom Robo. Do y'all remember that game?
I do not.
No.
It was a mech game where you could design your own mech, and it had online battles and shit. Very slept on Nintendo.
Was that the 3DS game you told me about? Like
no. It was the last mecha that was on Custom Robo. It was on GameCube.
This is an online PvP
GameCube.
game. There's no single player for it.
So build your own shit and fight.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
It looked good though from the gameplay. So I was like, all right.
Got a cool diverse amount of different types of mechs and shit. It looks like AC mechs, Gundams, and more tanky mechs.
Because I thought it was Gundam. I was like, okay, Gundam making another like multiplayer type of PvP experience, but I was like, let's make a break something different. So I was like, yeah, it definitely did look like AC a little bit.
Yep, I thought it was gonna be that too.
Freaking Nexon announced the first Berserker, which is their own Souls-like game, and then we found out it was being published by Nexon.
Yeah, I hate the developer, but the game looked good, so I'm gonna hope that that ends up being fire. But yeah, I'm not excited about the dev.
Oh no, man! A Dark Souls Nexon game is going to cost $5 for every sword, $2 for every swing. To refill your to refill your stamina, going to cost $10.
What was that other anime Souls game that came out a couple years ago?
We played it. Yeah, it was Bandai. It sucked. What was it called? Hit co-op. I don't know.
The vampire one.
It wasn't a vampire game.
Yeah, it was. They had vampire powers.
Who cares? That game sucks. Did you beat it?
No, because it sucked.
Yeah, as I was saying, like I remember we played it. We both quit. That game sucked. That shit had co-op. He was like, I don't know.
You excited for the interracial game?
I was looking at that. I don't know what is that. What is that?
I have no idea. I just know it was about some white dude and some black woman.
Oh, you talking about Banishers?
Yeah. I don't really know what the game is about.
We saw gameplay though, like it actually because I think the first time we just saw a trailer, we were like, "What the hell is going on?"
Oh yeah, they do have gameplay at the end of this.
Yeah, the gameplay actually looked alright, so I was like, "Okay, like
cool. I'm God of War."
A little bit. I'm a little bit intrigued.
Okay, yeah, I'll check it.
I'm not. You know what they say about them?
Not gonna be happy.
Yeah, them interracial couples are ruining our country.
Right.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
What's the name? But yeah, that's all I got on the Game Awards. And you got any last words before we move on to the next topic?
Game I mean, yeah, just you already said it, but this Game Awards is actually pretty good. I know in previous years it was the Slander Awards, but we didn't really have that much to slander. They actually had a good amount of really decent trailers. And regardless to what people said, man, Christopher Judge, I know that he was up there, but he was the reason why they was playing the rap on music for everybody. He ruined it. He ruined it for everybody. for 7 minutes. So it is what it is. You gotta get what you get. And
Do
Jeff
have to give a black person a mic?
Jeff was like, get
Ruined
these
it.
niggas off the stage, bro.
Get out of here.
Get these niggas out of here. I got a show to run. I'm trying to keep this on the 3 hours. So I mean, it ended up being a good show though. Arguably the best one yet, and it's funny enough because this was one of the best gaming years that we've had in a very long time. So shout out to Jeff, man. Now he got the juice now, man. E3 dead, so it's only someone's Game Fest and Game Award. So
he owns
we got to roll with Jeff. Yeah, he owns everything.
The Thanos of the conferences now.
I got to stay. Because I understand people's resources are limited as well as their time. People got jobs, school, families, if you're a responsible adult. So I'm not going to say all, but if you didn't play at least half the games in the game of the year conversation, I don't even know why. No, I was gonna say I don't even know why you're that invested. I don't know why you're that. I don't know why you're. The thing is, you played 1 out of the 5 games that got nominated. I don't even know why you think your opinion matters about the conversation. It's like, why are you that? Why are you that invested? Why are you that invested?
You didn't play half the games that are on the game of the year list. I feel like if you didn't play half of them, it's like. Was he really?
It should just be an entertainment show. Just sit back and enjoy the ride and let people, debate that actually, know what they're talking about.
Yeah, like also, don't give an opinion. It's okay.
Shout outs to Void Entertainment. I hyped their game up when it came out to early access last year. I've been playing for a whole year. They got to version 1.0, so they left early access. They announced it during the Game Awards, and I've been playing it this past 2 days. It's amazing. So.
All right, so I'm gonna see if we want to call it. I'm gonna give you the call on this one, Ethos. So the podcast we've been recording for an hour. We talked about the Game Awards literally just for an hour in itself. Hold on. So hear me out. The next topic I had on the notes was Alan Wake 2, but I felt like we talked about that all. So you want to skip it? So hold on. So you recommend it? At bare minimum, you recommend it? I recommend. We both. Me and him both recommend Alan Wake 2. Okay.
Deserves all the awards it got. Game of the year. Possibilities, sure. Yeah, it was one of the best games this year.
I just want to make sure. So we're not going to go super into depth to Alan Wake because we're already an hour in. Y'all heard us talk about it multiple times. We've been gushing about it. Play the game if you're into narrative-driven horror survival type of games. Especially if you like games like LA Noire because it's got a lot of detective work in that shit.
If you like True Detective, the show, you'll love it. I promise you, you'll love it.
Yeah. Next up on the notes, I was not going to put this on the notes. I've been playing it all week, me and Siggy. But I saw that website that you work for, Ethos. You dropped an article sharing your impressions of the finals. So here's another thing I didn't bring up during the award show. During the award show, they had a Beyonce style drop. I guess they thought their game was that important. They just dropped it during the award show for the full release of the finals, which is a multiplayer objective-based game helmed by a studio of former DICE developers that worked on Battlefield. You play in a game show, Destructing. We've talked about it in the last couple podcasts. The full game is here. I've been playing it. Ethos wrote an article. So I want to hear, now that you spent more time with the game, what is your actual official opinion compared to the beta? Has it changed enough for you to where you would recommend this free-to-play game?
So in the article video that I did for it, I did say I did recommend it to the masses. And I said, I think it's a really solid shooter. It has some good fundamentals and it feels a lot better than it's felt in its previous iterations that I've played. However, me personally, I uninstalled that shit once I finished that.
Okay.
To be fair, I feel like it was just because my experience was most of the time I was playing solo. I was not playing with 2 other friends. That could be what maybe.
You gotta come play with me and Siggy then.
Nah, y'all still you're having a ball with Ronan.
We be winning when we're Ronan, bro, and I'm not gonna lie. Me and Siggy be duoing. It'd be some heroics, bro.
Y'all having a ball, but I mean, I'll play it one more time. But I don't know. It's one of those games, and I've had some friends who said the same thing. It's a game that I feel like I should love. It feels like everything I like in a shooter. It's just I don't know. It's just something about it just doesn't do it for me all the way. But I feel like I should like it, but I just don't love it. If that makes sense. So
yeah,
I would recommend it. It's a free-to-play game.
I like it more than I enjoyed the beta, and I thought the beta was okay. And the reason I do is because they lowered the TTK. It's easier to get kills in the game now, so it's easier to. But I do feel like it takes way too long to push the objectives. A lot of times in the main game mode, like you'll cap the ATM, and you got to sit there and wait like 5 minutes, and then 30 seconds before you cap it, a team will come, and steal your shit. And I was talking to Siggy about it. I feel like a better way to go about that is the money, because it starts at like $10,000. The money is constantly draining and coming into your pot, and then the team with the most money at the end. That makes more sense versus winner gets all, because it's that happened to us a lot. It's very deflating to lose last second like that. Just some bullshit ass play when you sat there and defended it the whole goddamn time. Yeah. But overall, I would say I like the game. And one thing that actually really impressed me about it is I've been playing it on the Xbox because my PC is old now. I just accepted it can't run certain games. I've been playing it on the Xbox Series X, and it's actually very optimized. All the destruction does not drop the frame rate. It looks just as good as the PC version. I'm like, okay. I was like, it must really be my PC then, because I was like, it's running fine on my Xbox, bro. And it does feel rewarding playing as a team. Just the microtransactions, are, although you don't need to, like, you can unlock all the weapons pretty easy, but if you want like good skins, you're going to be paying a lot out of the pocket.
All cosmetics, you're going to have to
I'll say this much. I do like the game. Me and Siggy have been playing it real heavy, but where I do agree with you, Ethos, I don't particularly love it. Somebody was asking me, like, do you think this game will last? Oh, I love this game. And I'm like, maybe like 3 months. Yeah. But like, I don't know. It's just, I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if I'll be playing this. Yeah, it's missing something that makes me want to play it. Because I was saying this, I was like, I don't know if I'm enjoying this because I genuinely enjoy this game, or it's because I feel like there's a wide gap open for multiplayer. Like, ever since we retired from Apex, I feel like we haven't found a steady multiplayer game to play. And this is scratching that itch for me. But like, I don't know, like, definitively. I can't play this game by myself. Like, versus, I knew I liked Apex when I was playing by myself.
Yeah, I hate it solo. I can't stand playing it solo. So.
Didn't you say you was going to give it another chance, Jay?
Yeah, eventually.
Y'all got to play with the squad. Y'all got to play with the squad and see how it plays when it's actually coordinated, because it is much better.
When he plays Wolf Among Us, play it.
When I played the beta, it's funny. when I played the beta, I played with Chaos and Siggy like their first night, and like I said, I had the same opinion. And I remember when the second beta came out, I was like, nah, like I don't think I need to play it again. But now, like, the full release is out, I will give it one more chance, because I said I did. I would, but I feel the same way the Ethos feels. I don't think that there's enough or missing something that makes me want to come back to it. And I think the biggest thing that you already touched on is, like, how long will this game last? I don't want to get invested in something that I know it's just going to die, like, 2 or 3 months later. So I'm hoping it doesn't. Like I said, I don't wish bad on anything, but I feel like right now for you, TBH and Siggy, to be exact, like, specifically, it's just scratching the itch right now because y'all aren't playing Apex anymore. Like, Apex was y'all thing, and now y'all like, oh, finals. So I think that's really it. It's a high for you that you just
on the honeymoon
you're right
period.
Now. Yeah, exactly. I don't trust it.
Damn, man. Developers, get on your P's and Q's. We need a quality multiplayer game. Titanfall 3. That's what I was waiting. I was hoping for a Titanfall 3 announcement at the fucking Game Awards. Like, where you at, man?
He came out there. I can't believe Vince came out there, bro. Just be like, do you see how Jeff announced him too? It was like, this is and Titanfall 2. And we were just like, everyone's sitting there like,
no, where's the 3?
Then he came out and showed that stupid fucking Apex trailer. Oh my god! Oh my god! That
felt like a slap in the face to the community.
That was such a slap in the face.
You can now get Cloud's Buster Blade. Who gives a fuck, bro? Like, god damn.
Yeah, that was enough. Nobody cared about, bro.
Jesus.
Since me and what's the name Ethos talked about the finals, you got the floor to talk a little bit. You haven't had as much time to game because you're busy doing daddy duties. But I know since the last time we did the podcast, you did pick up one of those new OLED Steam Decks. We got 2 out of 3 of the hosts. JG has a Steam Deck now, so I wanted to hear how you feeling about it, because I've actually had multiple people literally today ask me in my chat, should I get a Steam Deck or Trouble? I was like, I don't know. Ask JG. What you think, Jay?
I'm a believer. I'm a believer, bro. Like, and it's about to change it's about to change my gaming life for real. Like, I downloaded Liza P, literally the first game. Like, I had no problems at all. I was like, wow, like this handheld, like, is actually holding up like really nicely. Like I was playing like just like I had a controller and was playing on my computer. Like it was great. And just seeing all the things that you can do, I highly recommend going YouTube, look up how to get the full potential out of your OLED, because it's a lot of things that you can download. Even though it's Linux, a lot of things that you can download to make your experience like 10 times better than just the Steam Deck out the box. I mean, if you're not into that stuff, not into downloading things, emulators, and other add-ons, plugins, then that's fine. But I highly recommend that you do that. Like I already downloaded pretty much all of the platforms. I downloaded Origin, I downloaded Battle.net. Like I got all that on there now. I'm still trying to figure out Game Pass. That's a one thing that Windows is being a little B about. But once I figure out Game Pass, it's a done deal. There's a lot of things on there that I want to play. Yeah, please tell me
you
out.
Want the cloud.
So I get that.
I can get you the cloud gaming one already. Like,
can you use an Android emulator on there? Because then you can get Game Pass through Android, the Google Store.
I mean, maybe it's like multiple ways. I think that's the one thing. It is multiple ways that you can do that. Like, people. I mean, you funny. Funny. People even people dual booted Windows, like they just got an SD card and just dual booted Windows on there, so you can do that too. I mean, okay. So it's multiple ways that you can do so. But yeah, Ethos, send me how you got it, so I can play Yakuza on there, because I got it on Game Pass.
First thing, Yakuza, baby, we gotta play that Yakuza.
Hey, come on, man! I had no Steam.
How many?
I said refund.
How many bones? How many bones did it set you back? How many dollars?
Altogether with tax, it was like $578 for the 512 gig version of the OLED. But I mean, if you don't want the OLED and you're fine with the LCD version, I mean, they're cheaper now, so you can get the 64 gig for I think it's like $300 now.
Nah, I need a 4090 before I get that. I think, well, not 4. I need a PC. Yeah, I need a PC.
Yeah, you don't need that. I mean, you're not really traveling that much, are you?
I'm trying to build up the mental fortitude. It's just like, it's not that you know when you can afford something, you just don't want to afford it.
Yeah,
so like, yeah.
I was saving up that Discord money. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go and pull the trigger. This is gonna be my Christmas present. So
one day I'll come.
I'm just gonna copy.
One day
I was thinking, I was like, should I get the Asus ROG? I know they cost more. I was looking at the Lenovo.
I see those at Best Buy.
They got the options. Yeah, the Asus ROG is being advertised in there. But once they came out with the OLED, because that was the one glaring issue with the Steam Deck, because they were first out the gate, and people didn't like the LCD, and then the Asus ROG came out. They were like, oh yeah, we got OLED. It's more powerful. This and that. It had Windows on it. And then the Lenovo came out. And all of those have unique features. But then when OLED came out, I've seen multiple people say, like, once OLED came out, I went back to the Steam Deck. Like, I thought that it was annoying, but the Steam Deck is still like the supreme, ruler right now, and it's still on the cheaper side compared to the other models. So I mean, get what you can afford, get what you like. But I do highly recommend you do your research on it. But so far so good, man. I'm loving it. I'm definitely a believer of the Steam Deck.
If I were to get one, I wouldn't get one of those other ones like the ROG or whatever, just for the simple fact that, like, yeah, those new ones might be a little bit more powerful, but they don't have the community to support. And I think that matters, because that's when all the new cool, where there are more people, there's going to be more cool new features. So like that, I think that does matter to the community. But that's cool that you recommended it. One day I'm gonna join y'all when I find the reason.
Just wait 2 years, because that's when they said they might have a Steam Deck 2 in development.
Yeah, maybe by then.
Yeah. Give it like 2 years.
Maybe I need like kids to keep me occupied and off the computer, but like you gotta have sex to do that. Remember, kids, sex before marriage is bad. I'm a virgin.
And don't hold hands.
You gotta get cutie.
You end up like this guy over here.
Right, responsibilities.
Right.
Moving on to the news side of the podcast. The biggest piece of news to drop since the last podcast is the biggest game on earth finally dropped their reveal trailer. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is real. Grand Theft Auto 6, it's been confirmed. It is in fact in the Miami area with other areas as well, like surrounding areas. It'll star a dude and a girl. I looked it up. Everything in this game is in engine. This is what the actual graphics will look like. These are not cutscenes. That's already been confirmed. So this is definitely going to be pushing the boundaries, which is funny because I just read an article today that said that Digital Foundry, I guess because there's dev kits going around to the Switch 2, they're already saying it's not going to be able to run GTA 6. So don't get too excited if you're trying to get a Switch 2. It sounds like this game is going to push limits in terms of what in-game graphics can do, whatever that means. Got some twerking, got some Zopounds, some rappers, some alligators, the Joker. He's trying to sue Rockstar for using his likeness, even though he stole the likeness of the Joker from DC. Don't know what that's about. Rednecks. How we feeling about the overall reaction to the biggest game in the world? Ethos, GTA 6. You excited?
I mean, it sure is GTA. Like,
this dude can play Baldur's Gate. See, that's what I'm talking about. I was waiting for this moment. You niggas shit. That's what I'm talking. You niggas nerds, bro.
Is that what's gonna happen? People are gonna say GTA 6 is gonna dethrone Baldur's Gate.
No, they're gonna call you a fucking elitist for that reaction. That's what they're gonna do.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's my hot take. Not that much. I didn't think GTA 5 was all that amazing. I thought it was pretty good, but I didn't think it was like the greatest video game of all time. That's just me personally. And I'm speaking strictly about like the single player experience of playing it. But I like it looks great. Don't get me wrong. I think it looks awesome. It looks really good. The thing I want from GTA 6 is, okay, you've been cooking this game for quite a long time. I really want them to evolve the game. Like I know what's his name? Nakey Jakey did that video, which I was like, oh, this was like literally taken out of my brain and visualized in a video, which was like, that's always been my biggest complaint about Rockstar lately has been, I hope they evolve the actual mission structure. I've always felt they nailed the open world. They nailed the interactivity of that open world. The world feels alive and vibrant. It's really awesome. They always nail that. But when it comes to like the actual gameplay of the story missions and how you do those story missions and like the amount of like flexibility you have to complete those missions, it's always been very linear and very like on rails, and that's always been like my disappointment about them. I hope they actually take a book, believe it, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I hope they take a page out of Cyberpunk and they actually open up the amount of like the amount of mechanics that you can have in the game and the tools you can use to complete a mission. Like I really hope they expand on that and they allow us to like actually like level up our the main characters, whatever it is, or like give them special abilities, allow the guns to have more customization, like stuff like that. That's what I really hope they expand on and they do a lot of. That's my only thing. That's it.
I thought it looked cool.
That, it looks good. It's cool.
There's
not much I can say about it. It looks cool.
I thought it looked cool. I think for me, what I hope that they really do with Grand Theft Auto 6 is they sit down and Rockstar's like, all right, here are the 3 or the 5 things we really want to focus on and just master these mechanics. Because I've never personally been a big GTA fan. I've always kind of just liked it. And like one of my critiques have always been of Rockstar games, at least with GTA, is I feel like they never done anything that's special. I would, and I don't mean this in a mean way. I just don't know any other way to kind of articulate or like an analogy. To me, Grand Theft Auto is like the Golden Corral of gaming. Like it's like a buffet. It's what's a good buffet? I don't know. It's the buffet of gaming. You get everything.
Golden Corral, you know everything.
Yeah. You get everything. But in my opinion, Grand Theft Auto, at least mechanically, it doesn't do anything particularly great. The shooting has always been clunky. The driving is inconsistent. The best thing I would say is probably the stories. Like those can be interesting. But I'm talking about strictly from like a gameplay standpoint. I want to see them sit down and focus on creating some really tight knit gameplay mechanics. Like the side activities have always been kind of clunky, and that's what doesn't keep me there. In my opinion, like what's kept people on Grand Theft Auto is the online, and it's not even necessarily the gameplay. I'm gonna be honest, it's because you niggas get to live out your fucking dreams of being because you're too pussy to be a cripper of blood in real life.
Don't say that.
So you niggas get to go online and act out your weird ass fantasies. But in terms of an actual gameplay, like it's always just been like okay to me with like a good story, and like I would really love to see them just tighten up the gameplay and really focus instead of trying to be something for everybody, if that makes sense.
What blows my mind about Rockstar is that they literally made the most like amazing third-person shooter with like Max Payne 3. I felt like that mechanically felt cool and unique and felt really good. And it's like they just forgot it. Like, why did they just forget?
You're proving my point.
Add that?
It's because in Max Payne they were focused on the third-person shooting and the bullet time, so it was a very tight and concise, and the mechanics were so fucking good. But that's always been my problem with GTA. There's no mechanic in this game that's like, yo,
that's unique.
It defines like, wow, yeah, like that's what I'm looking for them to do, to take it to like that next level. I agree with you. I hope it's not just the same. Oh, this person on this map needs your help.
I hope it's not just 5 with just
better graphics. Yeah,
I hope it's not that. I hope they really push it.
What about you, Jay?
Well, hey, JG, defend the game. Make it good.
It's
can't agree with us.
It's actually it's actually really funny because like I don't think I've heard anybody really critique Grand Theft Auto before. Like Grand Theft Auto has been like untouchable for so long, like the entire series. And now you all like make me think about when Grand Theft Auto 3 came out, because it went from top down, like pixelated, to like crazy. That was one of the first like open world, like third person, even though you had a mute, like people never seen anything like that before in a video game. And you know, they pushed the boundaries, and then you know, we continued on it with different stories and different people. But yeah, once we got to Grand Theft Auto 5, I mean, you did the whole, you know, 3-person thing instead of 1 main character. You do 3 main characters, but yeah, like gameplay wise, it wasn't anything that was special or really pushed the needle past, you know, San Andreas when it came out. Like San Andreas, again, like it pushed the needle at that point. But you also had, you know, a very, I wouldn't say lovable main character, but a lot of people, especially us, like we were like, yeah, CJ, like this for us, like shit, yeah. So I think that, you know, we held that, you know, higher than other people, but still, like he was a main character that everybody knew and held in high regard in the hierarchy of Grand Theft Auto characters. So like, what are we going to get with 6? I don't know, because Rockstar has milked this online for a decade now. Like, I don't think people realize this. A freaking decade of Grand Theft Auto 5 that had went through 3 different console generations. And one of the main reasons why I stayed on, you know, on top was online and the role playing shit. So now we get to GTA 6, and now we're getting back to the single player, which people, I don't even think people play the single player for Grand Theft Auto 5 anymore. Like, I don't see anybody late into, you know, the life cycle of Grand Theft Auto 5 like, man, I really love this single player. Like, everybody's playing online. So what is it going to be now? Like, I truly don't know what we're going to get here. And I'm still not a fan of it going back to Miami. I wish it would have went to a new city, but I understand you already have those assets here. So here we are. I wasn't a fan of that. So and then like I swear, man, I don't know what Rockstar is doing, bro. Everybody's stepping on them. We didn't even get the official reveal. They said it's coming at 9 a.m. on what was it, Tuesday?
That didn't happen.
And niggas leaked it already, bro. And they said, well, they leaked it, so here it is. I'm like, bro, what are y'all doing, bro? What is your cybersecurity like? What is your security like? Like, I don't understand why this keeps happening to y'all, being one of the most like secretive companies ever. Like, it's really bad for them. So I don't have high expectations for Grand Theft Auto 6. I really don't. And this trailer didn't really do much for me, but just say, hey, it's real and it's out, and I mean, it's going to come out, and I mean, we're waiting in 2025. People were mad about that. They thought it was coming in 2024. I'm like, really? Like, after what just happened, it's definitely not coming out next year. Like, so I don't know why I even thought that. So it's coming out 2025. We just going to have to see when it gets here. Like I said, I don't really have any expectations for it. I think it's just going to be under the Grand Theft Auto, unfortunately.
My gut tells me too. I think they're capable of launching the single player alongside the online, but my gut tells me they're going to launch the single player first so that they can get the hype off of that. And then they're going to, a few months later or a year later, they're going to launch the online and then get more hype. Basically just keep the game in the conversation, the zeitgeist. And I think what's going to be funny is when if they do that, where they launch the single player first, like GTA 5, it's going to be funny because, like JG said, the main reason GTA 5 is still relevant is because of the role player. Nobody talks about the single player, even though the foundation is the single player. I think what's going to happen is if it launches with single player, people are going to bitch and complain. What the fuck, bro? Where the role play? No. I'll be like, guys, like, Grand Theft Auto is about the story and the single player. That there's no way Rockstar could have predicted the role-playing community adapting to GTA 5 the way it did, because the reality is that people forget GTA 4 had online too. This wasn't the first game, and I think San Andreas had it too on PC. So this wasn't the first game. It wasn't the first game that had online. There was no way they could have predicted that. So I think it's gonna be funny to see. I'm just gonna call it right now, like, content creators are gonna be crying on social media, and people, I can't believe this. It's like they forgot they roots. It's all about the online. No, it's about the story first. The story matters. I think it's weird we've reached this point in gaming where people are like, who gives a fuck? Modern Warfare 3 story is whack. Just give us the maps. I don't know. Maybe I'm old school. I like a good story that gives me context to why I am where I am. I like being on a Call of Duty map and saying, oh, that's that part from the story. Or in Grand Theft Auto, oh, I remember this mission while you're playing online. Like, I think our brains are fried. I don't know, man.
Also, it's definitely going to be World War Rockstar if they really gonna try to this whole PC delay shit again. They do this shit again for another generation, which it seems like they're gonna try
to milk it.
I'm not gonna lie.
Another way to be in the conversation.
I'm gonna be pissed if they do that shit again, man.
Same.
Freaking. And then also the game caught a little, I don't want to say flack, but like it was kind of in the news too, because Take-Two CEO, which is the owner of Rockstar, Basically he was misquoted. There was a quote going around basically saying that he thinks games should be charged based on how long they make, and that's not exactly what he said. Basically what he said is like games should cost more based off of how much time and effort we put into it, and then also how much time you guys get out of the game. So he wasn't saying it verbatim, but kind of like in a roundabout way he did say that. So people are kind of worried that like, oh, because there's rumors that the game's going to be $150. Do you think they could get away with that? And a subscription servers. There's rumors of subscription servers for GTA 5.
Yeah, you hear about
and and $150. Yeah, read the article, my boy.
No.
Read this man.
They are not going to go with 150. I get if they push it to $80, I think they could get away with it.
I think they can get away with 150, and let me tell you why.
I do too. I do too.
GTA 6 is in the same crowd to me as the Spider-Man 2 crowd. It's people who mostly play Madden, Call of Duty, 2K. So when GTA comes out, it's mind-blowing to them. So they're only buying 2K. What's one more game that, who cares? This is the only game I'm going to play this year anyway, $150. And then they're going to be like, oh, you're broke. You can't afford it. I can see it.
Yep.
I can see it.
Yep.
I can
100%.
I could totally see the subscription thing being 100% real. Like when they launch the multiplayer, I'm almost 90% positive they're going to have the role-playing thing initially like built into the game. Based off of how 5 blew up because of that. I think they're going to like have role-playing elements already hooked into 6. It wouldn't surprise me if for their online they create a subscription service, kind of like you know how like Fortnite has their own. They have their own subscription service too. It's like called the Fortnite Crew, and every single month you get a skin and you get this like exclusive other stuff. I could see GTA doing the same thing. They're gonna milk this thing like crazy.
I pray that subscription service, if it's real, it's not just to play the game. It's like for skins or extra XP or something like.
No, just like you said. I mean, MMOs have done it for the past 2 decades, 3 decades. So I mean, it's already a proven track thing. If they turn GTA 6 into an MMO and say, "Hey, it's an MMO now," yeah, I could totally see them causing a subscription service that says, "Hey, you pay to play online." And like you said, they'll be, "Oh, you broke? You can't afford that shit." Like they'll pay for it.
Yep.
So
they'll pay $10 a month.
I would say keep an eye on this. I'm actually curious to see what y'all say in the comment section of the video version. Like, would y'all pay $150 for Grand Theft Auto 6? We definitely need to keep our eye on this news. I want to see more gameplay. I would just say like the trailer was all right. It didn't do. I gave it a 7. It didn't do nothing crazy. Yeah, it didn't do anything crazy for me. I was like, oh, it's cool. It's coming in. Looks good.
Look good. I like the the real life moments. Being in there and out there. That
I like
cool.
the twerking.
It's a nice touch. Come on, man. Open lock the goons, bro. Come on, they all in there.
Yeah, I think the people that are trying to sue him, because there's some chick with a BBL in Miami suing, saying likeness, and then the Joker. You think they got a case?
No,
there's nothing new. They Rockstar been getting sued for years. They got sued.
Lindsay Lohan couldn't win. Like Lindsay Lohan couldn't win, so there's no way in hell they're gonna win.
Those ones were especially bad. Like the Joker one, I'm like, you can't sue them for their likeness because you stole somebody else's likeness. You're literally one of them. You're pretending to be one of the greatest fictional characters of all time. And then the other chick that was trying to sue them because they'd like, oh, the girl in the car with the BBL, that's clearly me. Like, shorty, you're not the only girl with a BBL in Miami. That's like 90% of the population.
Nobody knows who you are. Trust me.
You are not that important, baby girl. So it's gonna be funny, man. We're excited to keep our eye on that. 2025. Hopefully they do like some dev diaries and then like do like a proper rollout where we can get some more content and really like deep dive so we can talk about it more in depth with like the mechanics and stuff like that.
At least we can stop for now with like the rumor video. Do you know how long the rumor videos were going on for GTA 6? Oh my goodness, bro. Yeah, exactly.
Since GTA 5 dropped, it's literally been 10 years of that shit. I remember motherfuckers was like printing out discs and like putting fake images on the disc. They was getting millions of views and shit like a year after they came out, man. Now it's actually real. Motherfuckers stop lying about this stuff, man. Let's talk about a scam though. Let's talk about another one of the biggest stories of the game. Let's talk about a fake game. So the day before, we've talked about this on a podcast in the past. It got announced. It was supposed to be a open world MMO survival zombie game. People were really gushing over it when it was first announced because in the initial announcement trailer, the lighting and the graphics looked amazing. It looked pretty next gen for an open world MMO game. Then news came out it was fake. They basically just put some assets together in UE5 and made this whole cutscene kind of guided thing. It wasn't a real gameplay. Developer said, no, it's real. The game got taken off Steam. So then the whole conversation of it being fake came back up. But then they were like, no, the reason it got taken down is it was due to like issues with the name and like copyright. Then eventually they got it back on Steam. So people are like, oh, it's real. The game finally drops last week. And 4 days after it drops, it was removed from Steam and the studio shut down. The game was a giant scam. Nothing that was in the original trailer was in this game. And matter of fact, it was straight up false advertisement. It wasn't even an open world MMO survival zombie game. It was more of like an extraction shooter with zombies in it, but then it was super buggy, glitchy, crashing, blue screens. Just probably one of the greatest clusterfucks we've ever seen in gaming history. Just so now they're calling it the scam before. It's getting punched by the internet all week, and deservedly so. Sometimes I'll be feeling like the internet goes a little bit too hard because like people see, oh, something gets views when you hate on it, but this one they scam people.
Beat their ass.
Yeah, you can beat their ass on this one. And the good news is, if your dumbass did buy the game, it doesn't matter how many hours you have. I've seen people with 30, 40, 50 hours on the game. They're refunding everybody on Steam. So just ask for a refund. You should be able to get it back.
How do you even have that many hours with a buggy game that faded? Like,
just left your Steam on? I don't know, man. I don't know. So what happened with the scam before, Ethos? Give us some insight, game dev.
Well, you know, as a person who's been accused that Samurai Zero doesn't exist, even though I've let people play it, JG's played it with his own team.
I have played it, yes.
I don't fucking know. I literally saw this from the get-go, and I was like, this shit does not look like... This shit just looks off to me for some reason. I just couldn't put my finger on what it was. I just felt like every time I looked at footage of it, I was just like... It looks too sterile, if that makes sense. Like, all the trailers, like... the extra animations, the stuff like that. It's like, it feels like it's too of a controlled environment. And then things got worse when people were demanding gameplay. Show us gameplay. And I'm like, well, if you got gameplay, just show them gameplay. Just put together 30-second clip, just doing some stuff. And then they took so long to do that. Then they finally showed something like that, of like a person with they were like, no, we want to see a video of somebody playing it with a keyboard and mouse, and you got to show the person actually like physically playing it. So like they were going the whole 9 yards trying to like convince them that it was real. It doesn't shock me at all. At this point, I'm like, if you're really locked into what was that word? The zeitgeist? Is that it? The zeitgeist. If you're really tapped in, you at this point, I don't go into any sort of early access, survival, zombie, shooter, anything. Any game that fits that sort of area. This is a survival game. It's a survival extraction, a crafting game. Any of those games that I ever see that get announced that have some sort of early access period or something like that, I just don't trust it. I don't ever pay for them anymore. You already know TBH makes fun of me about this all the time. I bought for one of them back in 2014. It was called like Nether or something like that. And I said, never again. I'll never fall for this again. And it seems like it's a recurring thing every couple years. This like a game comes out or a game gets hyped up about like it's a survival game, it's an extraction BR, it's all this sort of things all put together. It's this like role-playing simulator, and it ends up 9 out of 10 it just dies in development. It never ends up coming into fruition, or it ends up being a scam. People take the money and then they jet and run with it, because making that type of game and not having like the full backing of a AAA publisher behind you with a bunch of money is just not feasible. Even AAA studios can't even pull it off. Why did you think like some like random ass studio you just found out of nowhere can do it? It just doesn't work.
It was so bad that like people on Twitter were pulling up links to the pre-made UE5 assets that they use specifically. Like, here, you could download the shit right here for $5. And then also somebody had tweeted and asked, what happened? Like, how did they lose all the money? Because they said they were shutting down because they didn't have the money to pay for operating costs. And then they replied and they were like, shit happens. So like they were just like, whatever, go fuck yourself, basically.
Bro, on Twitter, just public.
On Twitter?
Yeah. What's your thoughts on all this, Jay?
Bro, it's crazy, man. They got some people though. I mean, luckily they're able to get the refund, but they definitely got y'all. I don't understand how people like still to this day are getting hyped up for trailers. We've said this on this podcast a million times. Like, we see trailers for video games, we know that's going to look nothing like what the gameplay is. So we're like, we are going to stay optimistic, cautiously optimistic until we see some gameplay. Then we'll see what the actual game is like, and then we'll judge it from there. Without gameplay, I don't trust anything. So rightfully so, I'm glad that people were calling them out from the beginning, like, hey, let me see some gameplay, let me see somebody playing the game, like, because I just don't trust you. Like, my red flags are blaring right now. But I mean, there were still a lot of people that bought the game, and again, I don't know I don't know why, the people who did buy the game were so oblivious, or, why people even wanted to try it out just to see, if they were lying or not. I wouldn't even have done that. I was just like, no, F it. Like, hey, I'm seeing all the red flags. I'm not even going to purchase the game. I'll just let other people try it out and see. Like, it was so bad, bro. They had a Discord and people were complaining left and right when the game came out. They shut the Discord down because too many people were complaining. It's apparently former people who on the team said that they don't even know why the game was called an MMO. Anybody who complained about this game, they got fired. Like, it's so much news that's coming out about this train wreck right now. I mean, it's crazy. Like I said, shout out to Steam for giving people refund, because if it wasn't for that, they literally would have, like Ethos said, took y'all money and ran with it. Like, it's ridiculous.
I'd imagine Steam is probably losing money on this too.
I'm sure they are. All those refunds, yeah. No, there's got to be some fees attached to it. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think too, the sad thing about this situation is, I feel like this is going to be more common. I feel like this is going to be like the new rug pull trend for a little bit, because like, the unfortunate thing about game development is it's easier than ever, and that's good because it gives access and tools to people who are underserved and underprivileged to be able to just download UE5 or we don't really fuck with Unity anymore, but Unity used to be in the conversation, but Unreal 5, you can just download it and use it. It's free, and you can develop a game as long as you got a decent PC. That's giving access to people who are underserved. The downside of that is it also gives access to people who have ill intentions, and I would not be surprised if like gaming rug pulls become like the new thing, because now it's easier to develop games. Who's to say we're not going to see more of the day befores where people put together, they just cobble something together with assets just enough to where it looks like a real game, and then they put it out. They like, psych, nigga, and then they take your money. Got him. So I'm like, as gamers, we got to be more vigilant. We got to be more vigilant about what's going on. I will say, I think what gave this game validity, because people kept calling it a scam, is when it appeared on RTX's showcase, NVIDIA's showcase.
Jesus.
I don't think, they had any malice in that. They probably thought it was real too, but like these companies like NVIDIA, Microsoft, you gotta do a little bit more vetting if you're gonna let a game on a major stage, because people were calling it a scam, including me. I didn't think the game was real until it showed up on that RTX showcase and they were showing the ray tracing in the game. I'm like, okay, well, if NVIDIA fucks with it, it must be a real game, but it wasn't. They got everybody. They got everybody. So everybody's got to do their due diligence, I think, and just stay awake, stay woke.
Stay woke.
Stay woke unless it's black, gay, or anything not,
or women.
Yeah, women. Anything not generic heterosexual bearded white man. But anyways. The scam before game is gone. We hardly knew you. 4 days. Is that the shortest lived game on Steam? That's crazy.
I think so.
Yeah, it might be, especially with something so so hyped up.
Speaking of shortly lived games, let's talk about a game. I know this one's gonna really burn for you, Ethos. Naughty Dog announces that they are canceling the Last of Us multiplayer game, the Factions expansion they announced like 2 years ago, or they were calling it was it The Last of Us Online. It was supposed to be an expansion of the original Factions multiplayer, but it was going to have its own original storyline, new game modes. You're going to be able to create your own character, unlock things. It sounded like it was going to be a fun live service experience that expanded upon a game mode that was very underrated, very beloved, kind of like Assassin's Creed multiplayer. But they announced yesterday that they will be canceling it, and the reason being is they said, they took a step back and they said, we made something dope, but then we realized because this is a live service game, that means we're going to have to commit a lot of resources and time that we don't have to this multiplayer game, which is fucking mind-boggling to me, because these niggas sat down and made a multiplayer game functioning, and it definitely was functioning, because I seen some gameplay and some screenshots on Reddit. Some gameplay Reddit leaked on Reddit. It's a real game. They sat there and made it, and they said, you know what? We just realized this is a multiplayer game and we're going to have to update it. We don't got time for that. After you fucking announced it and they said they want to focus instead on creating rich narrative single player games that they've come to be known for, which means more remakes. What's that doing for you, Ethos?
My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. I cannot stand Naughty Dog right now, man. I can't believe this is the same studio y'all said was the peak of gaming. Y'all said that this studio was the greatest studio of all. Frauds. They're on fraud watch.
I seen people defending them too. And like I was talking about on stream today, I was like, yo, I don't know if y'all realize, but Naughty Dog has made, because if you want to count the show, Naughty Dog has made 5 Last of Us games or properties or whatever, but only 2 of them are really real if you think about it. Because people, I think some people forget The Last of Us came out on the PS3, then it was remastered for the 4, then the 5, then we got part 2 remastered for the 5, and then we got the television show. So you got 2 games.
They go remaster the television
and 5 games at the same. Yeah, right. Like this shit is fucking crazy, bro. What is wrong? Yo, I saw you going stupid. Something about the Turbo Edition. What you got to say, Jay?
Hey man, like I said, don't worry, Brett. Don't worry. We about to get that Last of Us 2 Turbo Edition after remaster. It's coming, bro. They're gonna do it again. Yeah, this sucks, man. I know the Ethos been wanting to call somebody Nurse Joy again. You know, that was his peak moment playing factions in Last of Us. It sucks, man. It really sucks. I just don't understand how you would cancel this, but then you have the Last of Us 2 remake on the way. Like this, like just in my brain, it just doesn't make sense. Like I would put more focus on this one because this is what people are asking for. Literally nobody is asking for the Last of Us 2 remake. Nobody was asking for the Last of Us 1 remake. You know, the only small subset of people were the people who didn't get to play it on PS3 or the PS4. But again, I asked the same question I asked before. Where the hell were you if it took you 2 more console generation in order for you to finally get into it? I just don't understand that. Because the FOMO, I don't think that we're talking about FOMO here because the game is old at that point. I just don't. Like I said, I just don't understand. I've seen some people wake up, you know, finally they're like, man, what the hell is going on? Like I don't know about Naughty Dog now because I think after this Last of Us 2 remake, now people are finally starting to wake up. The Last of Us 1 remake, people were trying to defend that one, but the Last of Us 2, I'm seeing more people like, nah, I'm not having this anymore. So, I mean, do what you want, but I just don't understand how they keep getting away with this. Please stop supporting this crap because I don't understand.
Yep. Don't worry, guys. Season 2 of the show's coming. Then we'll get Last of Us 3. Then season 3 of the show. Then who knows? Maybe we'll get an Uncharted 5.
All the games, and they're gonna add the actual actors into the game.
The collection.
Remake the collection. Oh, you know they're gonna do a collection.
Oh my god.
Oh,
yes.
you know they're gonna fucking.
The Last of Us, the definitive collection.
Oh golly, bro.
It's coming, baby. It's coming, man. No Jack 4, no new IPs.
Nobody fucking asked them to make a live service version for the multiplayer. All we said was, why didn't you just remaster? If they had just remastered the multiplayer from 2013 and just put it into part 1, we would have been satisfied. You didn't even have to add new content to it. I still would have replayed it. I would have paid for that shit. I'd have paid $60 right away for that. I would have been like, all right, yeah, sure. Yeah, you got it, bro. I just want to play this shit again with updated graphics. I don't know why they felt the need of, like what you said. Just had like a dumbfounded moment. Oh, you're telling me we're going to have to support this thing? Like, what happened to the idea of like, you could just make the single player game and just add on a multiplayer component, and then players can play it. And maybe every once in a while you throw a couple guns in there. Maybe you throw a map or 2. I'm not saying I need a goddamn battle pass and some goddamn new maps every goddamn 3 months. I didn't ask for that. I didn't want that. I just wanted to be able to play the same thing I played back then. Maybe a nice little upgrade, nice little coat of paint on it, and that's it. It was a great fucking game. It was one of my favorite multiplayer games, and they just dumpstered it. And I'm just.
Who's to blame now for this generation that we're in for multiplayer? Why do we feel like every multiplayer experience has to be a live service or has to have a battle pass? Like
the consumer.
This is all Fortnite's fault.
The consumer.
This is all Fortnite's fault.
Nope, the consumer.
The consumers, bro.
Why are we constantly supporting this? Like, not every multiplayer experience has to be
because
like,
you got to remember the context of before this we had the loot box era, and this era we would have taken over the loot box era, and that's basically what happened. And
it's the consumer. Like, yes, these developers keep doing this, but like, let's compare the single player community with the multiplayer. Let's just separate them, right? What do the single player gamers support? Baldur's Gate,
graphics,
Alan Wake. Hell, we can throw Spider-Man in there if you want to. They support complete games, right? But what does the multiplayer community complete? They support anything basically. If it's got a loot crate, it's cool, whatever. They'll complain about it, but they'll still play the shit. But like, I think the standard for single player games, like if something is not good, single player gamers just don't buy it. Like Golem, nobody bought that shit. We clowned that shit. You remember that shit? You probably don't even remember that game. That shit got fucking clowned. Or Rise of Kong, that shit came out. Niggas is not buying that. Rise of Kong multiplayer comes out. Niggas buy it for some reason. I don't know what the issue is. But it's like, yo, you gotta expand your palette. Stop supporting it. Because at the end of the day, it's the corporation's job to make money. They're gonna try to wait. I can't get mad at them 100% because they're gonna try to fuck you over regardless to make some money. But what you can do is stop supporting it. And eventually it will stop and things will improve. I would have liked to see that Factions. I was disappointed.
I'm so disappointed. Don't get me wrong. I totally understand. Like, I'm not going to sit here and argue and say that, like, oh, screw them. They should never do single player and just become a multiplayer studio. Yeah. I think what they did was smart. And yeah, I guess in the long run, it's the smart choice. But it's like, God damn, bruh. You could have just dropped... In the time that you did this whole Last of Us 2 remaster bullshit, you made Part 1 remake. You could have at least brought the... Like, that should have been the first red flag. It's like, why didn't you just bring over the multiplayer from Part 1 to the new gen? Why didn't you just do that? You wouldn't even... no one was... Was there one person who was asking for that, telling you that you needed to redo the whole thing and give us more weapons and more maps? Nobody was saying that. You could have just literally brought everything back over and we would have been happy. I'd have been more than ecstatic to play that shit again. But no, I guess they bit more than you. They just said, oh, instead of that, let's just reinvent it and put it in its own separate universe thing and its own separate game. And now we'll do this because now Sony wants to make multiplayer games because they're behind in that area. We need to make some live service games. I just don't know, man. Maybe you should have just given it to another studio. Hey, maybe fucking Bungie can do it. Maybe that's what we can do. So that maybe Bungie can maybe hit their quotas and stop laying off people. Maybe Sony can give Last of Us Factions to Bungie since they know how to make a multiplayer and let them build it. Maybe that might be a good idea. I don't know.
So you're saying you're not going to play the new roguelike mode in the remake for Part 2? The survival mode?
I'm not gonna lie, it looked fun, but I'm not. No, I'm boycotting. I was gonna get it, but now I'm boycotting it. I'm not gonna get it. I was gonna get it. I actually was like, when I figured out, like, you don't have to pay for that. You can just pay $10, which is what they should have marketed it as. They shouldn't have even done this whole remaster shit. They should have just said, hey, we have this cool update, $10, you'll get a cool update, PS5 upgrade version, and you'll also get this roguelike. That's what they should have marketed. I don't know why they kind of call it a remaster. But no, and now it's pretty much fuck Naughty Dog from me. I'm not a fan of them. Yeah, I'm on. Not only have they fucked us over on this, then they fucked us over on Jack too. So like, yeah, I'm pretty much on fuck Naughty Dog now until they do something I care about. Now it's like, fuck them.
But the remake for Part 2, it has 2 new levels that they cut from the game.
I don't give a shit.
What?
Nope.
What?
The fuck?
Just like I'm like with JG with Capcom, I'm like that with Naughty Dog.
I seen people on Twitter like they was like, "Oh, it's gonna have 2 new levels in it." I'm like, it said it's cut content. That means it sucks. They're gonna make it, spruce it up, make it look a little bit nice. But I guarantee you, when them 2 unreleased levels come out, you're gonna be like, I can see why this shit was unreleased. Half the map ain't gonna fucking load and shit. Like,
yeah, that or they just didn't have enough development time to finish them, and now they were just like, oh, I mean, remember those 2 maps that we were gonna do, but we just ran out of development time? Let's just finish them now that we have the time and just throw them in there. Also, it's gonna
fuck up the story, like the context and the pacing of it. So it's like, unless they put it separately on a menu. So like,
or maybe it was originally designed for it, but then they were just like, oh, we didn't have the time to finish this, now we took it out. Now we're just gonna throw it back in. Either way you look at it, I agree with JG. Yeah, it's fuck Naughty Dog and fuck anybody that pays and supports for this shit.
It's been a rough couple weeks for the Sony Ponies, man. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the loudest, weirdest people on social media been kind of quiet. Spider-Man's losing, Bungie's losing, Naughty Dog's losing, and unfortunately, Insomniac as a whole is losing. So if you guys didn't see, Insomniac got hacked by a ransomware group. And they're demanding $2 million, or they will be releasing info. They've already started trickling it out. Screenshots and gameplay of Wolverine has leaked online. They also found, they also have like a bunch of data that came off their computers and basically said that Insomniac's working on a new Ratchet and Clank. Of course, Spider-Man 3 has been confirmed. They're working on that. They leaked that info. And then the most interesting thing is there's references to Into the Spider-Verse and like job hirings for like multiplayer and like, customization ops. Like, people are thinking that like they're gonna make some type of online co-op Into the Spider-Verse type of spin-off game. That's the main thing I wanted to talk about. Like, hey, what's going on with the cybersecurity at Sony? Like, is everybody's password onto the Sony camp ABC123? And then also, like, because a lot of people were picking up the story and getting excited. And my brain, the first thing I went to was I was like, okay, but what's Into the Spider-Verse gonna do? Like, let's say it adds co-op. What's gonna be different about it? It said like in one article that you'd be able to, people are speculating you'll be able to create your own character and have their own abilities. But I'm like, how is that going to differ much from Spider-Man 2 and 3? How is it, like, what do y'all think?
I mean, I'm not excited about this. I don't know what we're going to expect there. Again, just, you know, alleged leaks from what's going on in his hacker breach. I feel for anybody like Rockstar and Insomniac here. Like, dang, I truly don't know what's going on or why people are so like thirsty to leak information. Like, I don't know if this is just, you know, another clout move or what. So, I mean, just going back to the Spider-Verse, like I said, if this is true, we just have to wait to see, because I don't really have an opinion on that, or what could differ in Spider-Verse versus, you know, the mainline Spider-Man game. So I guess we'll just have to see. But like I said, it just sucks that, you know, that they're getting threatened, you know, to release this whatever that they have from Insomniac.
What about you, Ethos?
Yeah, the shit sucks. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Leaking fucking sucks. I know it sucks, especially about the employees losing apparently their information getting stolen too. That fucking sucks. Yeah, it's just bad all around. I just Googled it just so I could see the Wolverine leak, just so I could see what it looked like. I can't even. It looks like some 240p like image. I don't even know. It's terrible. I can't even make anything out. So I don't know. It's third person. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of sucks for Insomniac because like they just lost 7 awards in a row, and then you guys are leaking their info. You guys are assholes for that. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, let them chill out, bro. Let them chill out.
Losing 7 nominations, or
well, no, I'm saying doing that after the. I'm like put it in perspective, right? Insomniacs like they're nominated for 7 awards. They go home with nothing. They probably
win this.
But they probably knew they weren't gonna win. But you still want to win. You still feel some type of way. They're competitors, right? And then niggas hack your shit. Like, it's just a rough week for them. I'm like, yo, you guys, why couldn't you guys wait a week or two? You know, like a month. We're gonna do that shit.
Give them something. Let them get out.
Like let them breathe. Dickhead shit, bro. Like, I don't know. Speaking of dickhead shit, apparently freaking Bethesda says you guys don't know how to play Starfield. So that's speaking of a game that didn't make it to the listen, Spider-Man fans, if you guys have one hat you can hang yourselves on, at least you got nominated. Starfield wasn't even there.
No, it was.
Wait,
was there. They got nominated.
What they get nominated for?
Best RPG.
They lost.
Did? Yeah. They got 1 nomination.
It was a quiet night.
Didn't win it.
It was a quiet night.
It was a silent night.
Yeah, Christmas time, boy. Oh shit.
Here all week.
So basically, Bethesda's been responding to negative comments like on Steam, and like I don't know who's working that account, but they basically been telling people, hey, the game doesn't suck. It's not boring. You don't know how to play it. It has tons of different options, different RPG elements. You need to learn how to craft your ship. They're telling people how to play the game, and it's not actually boring, and you need to dive deeper into it. And it's making me wonder, I'm like, what do they think people are missing? And then to add insult to injury, not only are they giving bad customer service, but one of the biggest Skyrim modders in the community basically quit modding for Starfield. He said the game's fucking trash. It's boring. He doesn't want to work on it anymore. He doesn't see the potential in it. And a lot of other modders are following. Basically, we're kind of seeing like we're seeing the community kind of turn their back on Bethesda. Why do you think that is, Jay?
I mean, you've been talking about it for ages, but their engine is trash. I think that this is also contributing to what ended up happening with Starfield. I mean, they're saying that literally there's like nothing to do in all of these worlds. They're like, yeah, you can go to all these planets, but there's nothing there. And then, I mean, for the actual developers to come back, or whoever, you know, was on task to responding to these comments, coming back and was like, man, it's meant to be like that. They said when people went to the moon, was that boring? I'm like, really? For that to be a response is crazy. Like, that's wild to even say that to somebody.
You don't know our game.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, it was boring. How about that?
they pulled a, you know, like, you ever been in a car with a nigga who's gas on E? I mean, the tank ain't gonna eat. And they'd be like, I know my car. Be like, yo, you should probably get some gas. I know my car. That's basically what they said. Yo, your shit's boring. I know my game. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, so that's wild. It's pretty wild to me. So, yeah, I think once again people are finally speaking up about it. You know, Starfield was super hyped up and ended up being a disappointment in a lot of people's eyes, especially, you know, longtime Skyrim, Fallout fans who were expecting something different. You know, the game literally saw nothing from the game for years, and all of a sudden they do a huge showcase on it. You know, it looks good, but then once the actual final product came out, it wasn't what anybody expected. It was a little, you know, way too ambitious for what ended up happening with the final product. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that it deserves, you know, all the negative press, but I mean, obviously it should be speaking volumes, and people are leaving reviews saying that, you know, that the game is boring, and one of the biggest modders, you know, who made Skyrim, you know, a totally different game, said, no, I'm not even going to make this because the game is boring. Like, I mean, it is what it is. These are very direct statements that people are saying, so you just kind of got to take that on the chin if you're Bethesda, instead of responding, because you're essentially just making it worse with your responses. And they're copy and paste responses too. That makes it even worse. They're not even genuine responses. They're copy and paste, or copy pasta.
Yeah, freaking, I think I'd like to retract my statement from a previous podcast when we talked about Starfield. I said I think this game will be all right in the long run if the mod community spruces, if Bethesda and the mod community come together and continue to build upon what's there. I don't know how I'm feeling now that I know top modders are like, fuck this game. Basically, now you lost half your manpower. So, like, in order for this game to be great, Bethesda's probably gonna have to go dark, and they're gonna have to do an overhaul like Cyberpunk.
So they got a No Man's Sky Cyberpunk.
Because jokes aside, we like to crack jokes, but we've seen enough data between Cyberpunk and No Man's Sky. It is possible to save, and in my opinion, Starfield is in its current state is a better game than what No Man's Sky was at launch. They have more to work with, in my opinion. So this game can be salvaged. They're gonna have to go dark, shut the fuck up, and just overhaul and listen to the community. But like, I'm not feeling as confident after the modders are like, nah, nigga, bro, I don't know about this shit. What about you, Ethos?
Yeah, I kind of had this philosophy for the last couple of years where it's if you as a developer, if you have to explain to people how they're supposed to play your game, you kind of failed as a developer. And I feel like there's a trinket of wisdom. And I feel there's a comment. That's the same, because I always say if you had to explain the joke, it's not funny. It's not funny. Yep. So yeah, I think this is a big sign. I think the best way that Bethesda can move forward is twofold. It's twofold. I think one, they have to have this already is an L by them trying to, you know, I know there was already like apparently allegedly like hidden Bethesda users or employees that were hiding through stock accounts. Basically, they were KDing, basically, where they were just like going on a stock account and trying to defend, you know, themselves as if they were like a regular gamer.
That mission's not that bad.
yeah.
So
right.
Honestly, like what you gotta do, like if I was them, I would if I was Todd Howard, I would just set up a camera, bro. I'm just gonna talk to people. And he just have just a straightforward dialogue and be like, hey, yo, game development is hard. We thought we had something really good, and I feel like there is still good potential there, but we missed the mark in a couple areas, and so we want to make it right, or we want to try to figure out what we have to do to make those things right. And just like, hey, we've gathered research, we've researched what the biggest like pain points have been from people, we've compiled it, and this is what we think we need to focus on with the game. This.
They should drop a survey. I mean, not survey. They should drop a survey, and like the answers that keep coming up, that should be what they focus on. Like the top 5. Triage it. Yeah, they should do that.
That's literally what Cyberpunk did. Like Cyberpunk, they went dark. They dropped their video, and people got mad at them for it. And they said, you know what? We didn't launch this in the quality that we felt like we should have done it at, and we definitely feel like we failed you guys. But we promise you, as our promise, we are going to fix this thing. And they literally were like, that's what they said they were doing internally. They were gathering every piece of feedback, and that's what they were doing in each of those patches. And when 2.0 dropped, a lot of that like 2.0 update was from a majority of the people who like have biggest complaints about Cyberpunk, and that was them addressing every single one of those big pain points. It's just Bethesda's going to have to do the same thing. I think a lot of people, and at this point, and I've said it before, even if I was a huge defender of Cyberpunk back in 2020, even I said that there were people that were convinced that Cyberpunk could never come back from the grave. You know, I hear this all the time. The game is so broken at a fundamental level that there's no way that the developers can ever save the game. They should just give up on the game. They say the same thing about Battlefield. They say the same thing. And it's just funny. And they say the same about Halo Infinite. It's funny how now those games have now been able to start flipping the script now. So I feel like that's the same what Bethesda has to do. I agree with what you're saying. I don't think Starfield is anywhere remotely near to the state that like Cyberpunk was at launch, that No Man's Sky was at launch. I think that they already had like a solid starting point. It's just, yeah, I think they need to, talk to those modders and be like, what do we got to do to make things easier for you, or how we make it so that you guys can kind of see the vision that we see for this game, and then start hitting those play points. I think they're already starting that with they're talking about vehicles. I know that was one point that you had, TBH, about the review, where you talked about it feels like there should be
just running around was awful, bruh. And it's crazy because people were complaining you couldn't run across the whole planet. Bitch, I don't want to.
I don't want to.
And then after they fixed the game, they got to drop a fire expansion, put some aliens in that bitch, some hostile aliens, bruh. Because that's another thing I feel like the game was missing. Like, it was like a lot of nothingness in space. Like, I want to fight some evil ass aliens that's trying to take America's resources, and we pulling up with bald eagles and lasers, nigga. The fuck? Oh shit, this is the United States of Space. So hopefully somebody from Bethesda doesn't take it personal. I think Bethesda's having a hard time dealing with it because they've been such the poster child for like success for so long, but also they're a victim of their own success.
Yeah, they spent so long working on this. Like, they've been working on this since 4, I think, right? Like, they've been since 2016, 2015, they've been cooking.
I think they're also utterly shocked. So. The fan, shout out to the Bethesda fan base too. They finally turned against the fucking company, bro. Because for the longest, we'll just fix it. We'll pick up the pieces for scorn lovers. They're like the single player 2K niggas, bro.
They defended the hell out of Fallout 76. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, that was the tipping point.
Out of Fallout 76. Yeah, Fallout
76 was 6.
We ain't taking this shit over.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, man. They have 4. Hey, Bethesda, bro, you might want to hit up Obsidian, bro. They made your best Fallout game.
You're not lying. I'm looking for the Outer Worlds too. Yeah.
You might want to hit fucking Obsidian.
Yeah, like, yo, come back, man.
Yeah.
Come back, help
us.
Because you're all under Microsoft, so just say, hey, let's borrow a couple of your writers or something like that. Help us figure out where we failed, so we can pick it up and try again.
Like Obsidian, you up?
Yeah, you up? Help us.
You up?
Help us, please.
Shit's fucking crazy. So keep an eye on what Bethesda's next move is. I think it's going to be very interesting. And they're going to have to make a move now that I think about it, because at the end of the day, they were bought by Microsoft, and Microsoft likes to make money and they like to win. So they better do something to get back in the good graces of gamers. It's going to be interesting. Last story I got on the podcast for the news section of things. Apparently EA is working on player voiced characters in games. The gist of the story, EA newly patent just surfaced that basically allows people to put their own voice inside of a game. The patent outlines a system that involves inputting speech content, and then basically it'll clone your voice inside of the game. So like, I don't know, let's say Spider-Man 2, even though, EA games are on PlayStation. But anyways, let's say like Spider-Man 2, you wanted to voice Miles or Peter. Like, this would allow you, if it was an EA game, to basically put your voice into the game. Who knows when this will come out? Keep in mind, this is also just a patent, but it's very interesting. Do you think this is something that, because you were getting excited before the show when I brought this up, JG. Why did you initially get excited about it?
I was, because I mean, I think it would be or would sound like a good idea to, if you have it could even go as far as like, a creator player. It's one thing to have like the face scan, but then like to actually have your voice in the game as well. Like, it actually sounded like you. It was like, damn, like this is really me in the game. But I mean, y'all brought me back down to earth, because y'all was like, man, EA might just steal y'all voices. It might just steal y'all voices, and then like you'll hear it somewhere else. And I mean, that won't be cool. Or,
that's not what I said. I don't think EA is dumb enough to steal anybody's voice. My issue with this is security breaches. So like, they collect the data, they get your voice, they clone it. They're going to keep it on a server. They have to in order to run on a game, right? EA gets hacked by this ransomware group. Now your voice is floating around the dark web, and then that's how your voice ended up in a game like the Scam Before. Now your voice is in the Scam Before, and you're trying to file a lawsuit against them, but then the company disappeared. They just made a shit ton of money off of your life. That's my issue with it. It's not necessarily I think EA is dumb enough to. I just think that like, all these niggas companies is ABC 123 the password. I don't want my fucking data out there. Like, nah, this is one of the things.
they've tried that already. Like when with the whole AI thing, there were people that were stealing voice actors' voices, like their voice lines from games, and they were creating AI models off their names without their permission, and they were then trying to like give them offer, like be like, oh, now you can make so and so say whatever you want, and then that leads into a bunch of like, oh, what the heck, like a bunch of like ethically gray areas of people like using other voice actors, especially like if they pass away or something like what happened with like, think about like Kevin Conroy, right? Like before he died, imagine they made like an AI model of his voice. This already can happen now though. This technology, not you repeating your voice, but the idea of them recording you, this has already been done. Riot Games does this actively, and I think a lot of other games, I think Call of Duty does it too, but a lot of, in order to combat toxicity, a lot of like multiplayer games are in the future, they're going to be using AI models too. They're going to be, you opt into it basically, but if you use their voice chat system, they're going to be it's always going to be recording. So if you get reported for toxicity, they can pull your basically your voice logs, and then actually be able to, AI will be able to decipher what you said, and then if you were being toxic like that, they can ban you or get in trouble. They already have that in Valorant.
Oh Lord,
so yeah,
see? That's why I'm playing CS:GO with Fireball. See,
they have that a lot. I think as time goes on, that's the new like measure to stop toxicity, is like now like good luck trying to say like any crazy shit in voice chat, because now like there's going to be something checking.
Dang, so Modern War Negro wouldn't be able to survive in this day and age.
Nope.
They made her get banned.
Hey man, I used to watch your videos. What's the name? Also, another reason, this is the asshole in me, another reason this thing I don't think would work is, it sounds great on paper, right? But let's keep it real, right? In order for this function to work, you would need like a quality microphone, like the ones us three are using, right? Most of these niggas are still talking on PS4 earbuds. You remember the default shit that come with the PS4?
Oh my god!
Most of you niggas still talking on that
controller.
shit. You niggas is speaking right. You niggas is speaking right into the fucking controller. Fucking yo! Imagine playing Jedi Survivor and Cal Kestis just wah 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 wah. Sound like the teacher from fucking Charlie Brown, bro. Get the fuck out of here. This shit is not gonna work, bro. So I was like, nah, you broke ass niggas. You can't record your voice. Don't nobody want to hear that shit.
You're right. You know what? But forgive me for saying anything, because that's a go killer right there. Anybody with a console, y'all don't even got good mics.
Oh my god, that shit is funny. I got Discord, still got shitty mics. Moving on to the social justice warrior news section of the podcast. Last story. Twitch, the platform in which we stream and many others do. They recently I'm still laughing about the controller. JG made it funny. Freaking so Twitch recently updated their terms of service, and in their terms of service, this happened like literally like a day ago. They changed it to where basically they were allowing more sexual content on the platform. In specific, they were saying they were allowing artistic nudity, and you know how human nature is. Basically, people were trying to push the boundaries of what that is. So what happened after they allowed the artistic nudity is, if you went to the just chatting section, Siggy definitely did, you would find plenty of people with like naked, like furry avatars and fucking anime girls, pussy and titties all out and shit like that. Yeah. And people were like, what about the kids? What about the kids? What about the fucking kids, bro? Which is a funny argument to me in itself, because like nudity is where we draw the boundary, because like a lot of your favorite streamers say racist, stupid shit all the fucking time. Like y'all don't care about the kids then. But anyways, yeah, so now they're dialing it back. They're saying no artistic nudity. They're being a little bit more specific on what they mean by that. Any hot takes on this as our residential social justice warrior, JG?
Hey, bro, niggas was wild on Twitch. I'm just like, it's so funny because like Twitch has its own meta. Like you hear about the meta deck, the meta weapons loadouts in video games, but Twitch literally has a meta of what people can get away with. And I remember like way back in the day, it seemed like it wasn't too long ago, but I remember like when all the e-girls were like, man, we gonna come over to Twitch and just act like we gonna play the game, but we're just gonna have our camera super big and then just wear revealing clothing.
That's when it started.
Like, and that was the start. That's when Twitch was like, man, we need to do something about, what you can wear on stream. And then, the hot tub meta became super popular. Then they were like, man, we can't really ban this because they're not really doing anything. So let's just make a category for it and let's embrace it. So it's certain things that Twitch embraces, but Twitch doesn't need to embrace everything, because you're going to, again, get get to that slippery slope. Like what just happened, and then it's going to get out of control. It's going to become like the Wild West. So Twitch really better start thinking, really taking time to think about what their policies are and make them more defined, because people are always going to test that gray area, and we saw exactly what happened when they tested that gray area, or things that you said are actually allowed, and then they, you did it a little bit too much, and then Twitch was like, oh, my bad, like we didn't mean to do that. So now we're going to make it more defined. No, you can't do this. We said you could, but now you can't. So I think one of the easiest things that Twitch should do, because I don't feel like even a lot of the girls who have sexually suggestive content, they don't even put an actual label on there. I know that Twitch is supposed to be enforcing the 18 the mature label, but they don't even be doing that. Like you go to these streams, you just pop in immediately. You don't even see, hey, this for mature audiences only. So like you need to further enforce that, and you need to literally anybody who does that, I don't care how popular they are, how many views they are, you need to take it off the homepage, because anybody, whether you have an account or not, you're just going to go to Twitch and you're going to see somebody naked or half naked on the front page. Then you're just going to click on it. You're impressionable, you're just going to click on it and see what's going on. So take that off the front page and be like, look, if you have this type of content, you can't be on the front page. Like, to point blank.
They said that they were going to remove any type of extra sexual content off the recommended. But my thing is, like, I'm still getting certain content creators that I've never watched, because I don't watch that stuff, on my recommended, and I think it's mainly because of Siggy and the damn Signal group.
you click on it once, there it is.
Yeah, you click on it once, and now these girls are all in my fucking recommended. I'm just like, bruh, come on. But I don't think that algorithm has come into play, because I'm still getting recommended that stuff, and like that shit looks crazy. Just because like I don't want to be fucking streaming, and I open up Twitch on a damn web browser. They're like, yo, why you got such and such in your recommended? Like, I swear to God, I'm not watching that shit, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, I mean, Twitch better watch out. Like I said, it's definitely about to become like a mini OF. Since now, gaming is even though it's still the foundation of Twitch is gaming, you could do pretty much anything on the website now. So they better watch what they're doing, because it's about to get real ugly, and people are going to keep testing. They're going to keep testing what they can get away with.
Yeah, personal opinion, I really don't give a fuck. I'm not in competition with some titties and ass. I don't care. Like, we don't have the same audience, so I'll never care. The only thing it's worth talking about it for is because, like, the CEO, the main reason he was brought in, the new one, is he's supposed to be cleaning up the books, and Twitch has never been profitable. It's supposed to be helping bring in money so that the website doesn't turn into Mixer one day, because at any point they could turn off the lights. Friendly reminder. And in my opinion, I don't think this is going to help keep the lights on. It's going to be hard to sell it to advertisers if you turn into a mini OF, as JG says. So that's actually my main concern, is if your goal really is to turn the site profitable, you got to make up your mind first what direction you're going in and become more clear and concise. It's just a bad decision move, but
you got to bring in the titties. If you want to get money, sex sells. You got to bring in the titties.
Eat those ones, the titties.
I'm just saying.
That's what OF did. You remember when OF, like?
Well, I'm talking about advertisers. It'll bring in sub revenue, but like clearly that's not paying the bills. Like, they need proper ad revenue. They need them big dollars, money, because you can't rely on sub revenue, because that implies everybody's going to always just be subbing. But if you have the sub and the ad revenue, that's why I said the whole artistic nudity thing, they got to make up their mind if they want to get that consistent ad revenue.
They just gonna have to set up a system that says, hey, do you want this ad to show up on 18+ content? Yes, or no. But then you got the problem, like, remember what YouTube had, where it was like, why is all this racist shit? Why is our ad showing up on all these like racist ass YouTube videos? And that's
also 18 plus is so broad. 18 plus could be political, but then it also could be nudity.
It's again too many gray area, too many categories. So it's hard. I mean, I'm literally on the just chatting section now. I'm still seeing girls doing the meta, the new meta. So it's I mean, I don't know. I only know what
Asian bunny get it first.
Bro, she popped up on the screen. I'm doing it for research purposes. She popped up on the screen.
Homeless told me. Homeless tweeted
I was trying not to say no names, no clout. You Negroes, bro.
Hey, no, we gotta support our fellow minorities.
This guy.
She literally said, "I created this new meta."
She made
said,
that
OG.
meta.
I'm the OG.
She said, "Y'all my bitches." That's crazy.
I mean, pretty much, yo.
I was funny because Homeless, she tweeted me and she said that it's crazy on Twitch right now. She said there was me on her Twitch. She was like live. It was me. There was a pair of titties, and then there was Kai. That's how I played. That's how I went from left to right. Yeah. So
it'll be interesting to see how things play out. That's all I got on my show notes. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add before we wrap this one up?
That's it from me.
I'm done.
It's late over there for y'all. I know y'all ready to go to bed.
I'm about to die.
Sheesh. All right, you got the show floor, Ethos. What's your closing statement for Game and Illuminati episode 149? Go.
Man, thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna go to sleep, and also make sure you check out Ready or Not. Version 1 dropped. Good night.
Is that on Game Pass?
No.
Somebody in my chat said it's on Game
Twitch.
Pass.
It's on Twitch, Bounty, so if you want to play it, get it now.
Okay. JG, what's your closing statement for episode 149? Go.
Thank you all for wading through I wouldn't say my tough time, but my new time as a dad of 2 now. So we're gonna keep this, try to be consistent as my son gets older. He's gonna start sleeping more, so I have more time to get back to the regular stuff. But we had to do at least one pod before the next year. But we're gonna try to get one more before the end of the year.
And I got one more in me.
Yeah, I got one more. Also, Ethos, you didn't announce what's coming up.
Oh shit, I see it. I'm tired, bro. Go ahead. You got it.
We have our GI Media Awards coming up, so be on the lookout for that. Next week we're going to get that cracking. So everybody in the Discord and all our GI supporters, make sure that and well, you already voted. If you already seen this, you already voted. So
23rd.
Yeah, it's supposed to be going down on the 23rd at 7 p.m. So stay tuned, everybody in the Discord. Remember, it's free. It's free. Join Discord.gg/GI updates.
Okay. And I appreciate everybody listening. If you made it to this part of the podcast, leave a comment in the comment section below. Say hashtag Twitch's new meta. If you made it to this part of the podcast, hashtag Twitch's new meta. Other than that, hit the like button, rate the show 5 stars so we can remain in the 1%. We're using the 1% for videos and we only dropped 10 episodes. Wait till next year. We about to turn up. I feel like there's going to be a lot of growth when all the episodes are in. I think that's why we're getting new videos, because we're utilizing that feature. So keep supporting, keep rating 5 stars. And we will see you guys on the next episode of the Game and Illuminati podcast. Peace.